Catch the spirit of the game, the Hastings Sodbusters.
So proud of the guys, just kept clawing, kept fighting back, and I'm beyond proud of them.
He sends a high fly ball to deep right center field. No one's going to catch that. It is going way back, and that is out of here for a home run. Luke Cossey, a monster shot, clears the 405 sign. Our first home run at Duncan Field since 2023. Touch 'em all, Luke Cossey.
Our fans recognize that, and they know that it's a family atmosphere at our place, and that's what we like.
One run will score. Here comes a second run home. Johnston digging for third. He slides in, and the Sodbusters have a 3-0 lead as Weston Johnston scorches one over the head of Jake Daly.
All the credit to the guys in the dugout playing really, really hard, keeping it simple, throwing strikes on the mound, going right at kids, and then just keep it simple up at the plate. And all the credit to the guys for just busting their butts night in, night out.
Catch the spirit of the game, the Hastings Sodbusters.
We are in the heart of summer baseball season, but today it is time for both teams to take a step back for an exhibition game and a little bit of an unusual contest tonight, but it's going to be nothing other than a fun contest tonight. We welcome you to Duncan Field as the Hastings Sodbusters are in exhibition mode this evening as they are going to take on the Cornhusker League Legion Allstars. So high schoolers and just graduated high schoolers from around the central Nebraska and even as far east as the eastern Nebraska region are here. The best of the best are set to take on the Hastings Sodbusters tonight in this 7-inning exhibition game. First pitch here at about 6:35 p.m., our usual start time here at Duncan Field. Good Wednesday evening. So glad you could join us on our YouTube broadcast. I'm Ryan Valenta. Got Steve Stein with me, our producers and numbers guys, Connor, Mason, and Noah along for the ride as well, as the Hastings Sodbusters will once again take on the Cornhusker League Legion All-Stars. Those are teams made up from the Summer Legion teams of the Tri-Cities, so Hastings, Kearney, Grand Island, and then farther west out in North Platte and as far east as Columbus. 20 high school players on the Cornhusker League Legion All-Star teams, 4 from each school from the Tri-Cities, North Platte, and Columbus. And like an all-star game, it's going to be a lot of moving around. You're going to have your starters and you're going to have the reserves coming in to get a chance for almost all of these 20 guys to be playing for the Cornhusker League Legion All-Stars. For the Hastings Sodbusters, yes, it's still a game to them tonight. However, it is not going to count against or for their record, depending on the outcome. But you know that the Hastings Sodbusters would love to get a win tonight after the Cornhusker All-Stars. They came from behind last year, and they beat Hastings right here on their home field at Duncan Field. But it is a exhibition game tonight. The Sodbusters have tomorrow off, and then they will begin 4 games in a row at home, one against the Fremont Moo, and then the Plainsmen as they end their season against the Hastings Sodbusters. But it's exhibition time tonight. First pitch in about 20 minutes before on our pregame show. Got a chance to catch up with the head coach for the Cornhusker League Legion All-Stars. He's Josh Redmond. His brother Jake Redmond also a coach, but Josh doing the head coaching for the Cornhusker All-Stars tonight. Steve Stein catches up with him and gets to pick his brain just about what goes into forming this all-star team. The teams are busy. They don't have very much time to practice or get together with each other, but like how I view it, it's not as hard as a football or basketball all-star game where you have to go over and run plays meticulously throughout a whole week. The guys just kind of go out on the field and let their talent show off, and they do the rest. So we'll catch up with Josh Redmond. Steve Stein's got that interview. This is Sodbuster Baseball from Duncan Field. Be back in a few moments.
Hi, I'm a baseball umpire. My job can get pretty stressful. I have to keep my eyes open at all times, and if I don't make the right call, people boo me. So to relax, I visit a Nebraska lottery retailer like this one and buy some scratch tickets. It always calms me down. Hey, you cut in line.
I did not.
All right, you're out of here.
Hey, he didn't cut.
All right, you're out of here.
I feel better already. The Nebraska Lottery. Top prize odds vary by game.
There's nothing like relaxing on a summer day. Nothing like taking in a Hastings Sodbuster baseball game. And there's nothing like an ice-cold Pepsi to make the day perfect. Pepsi Cola of Hastings wants to make your nothing like be the best day it can be, whatever the occasion. Enjoy your favorite refreshing Pepsi product throughout the Sodbuster season and make your nothing like memories. Pepsi Cola of Hastings, a proud sponsor of Hastings Sodbuster Baseball.
It is an opportunity to talk some Legion baseball on our Sodbuster broadcast as we hear from Josh Redmond. He's the head coach for the Cornhusker League All-Stars. Josh, talk about the opportunity to play in a game like this where you guys get together and get a chance to see some college athletes.
It's fun. We normally play each other a lot of midweek games for the Cornhusker League, and the history of it is used to be East and West with Lincoln, and Lincoln doing their own city league now. It left us with 5, and it's hard to do an all-star game with 5 teams, so we came up with the idea of reaching out to Sodbusters and thought go from playing each other all the time and put all these boys together and let them play against some college talent. And it's good for our kids that have aspirations to go on and play. They get to see some next-level arms and next-level play.
And plus playing at Duncan Field, a great facility, great opportunity. Now, will you guys swing the wood bats? I know they're swinging aluminum right now as we watch batting practice. I think last year they did the wood bat. What's the format of this?
We are swinging aluminum for sure tonight. But, yeah, it's a great place to host it with Duncan Field, beautiful facility. We're all familiar with it. We play here quite a bit, so it's fun to see these guys kind of interact with each other.
And you mentioned that, the opportunity to play with the guys you play against. I mean, because you look at the Cornhusker League last year, it was kind of cut and dried. It seemed like Grand Island was the team to beat. This year, day in and day out, it seemed like it's a one-run game every time.
It's gritty midweek games in the Cornhusker League. That's just kind of how it always is. And these guys, they play each other a lot. They've been playing each other since they've been youth baseball or at least freshman baseball. And so it's funny when you get together, and we all ate up Bullseye, and shout out to them for bringing us in and let us eat. But everybody's sitting at their own table kind of with their own group, but then we get out on the field, they start intermixing. It's pretty fun.
We are talking with Josh Redmond. He's the head coach for Cornhusker. Take us through the summer for you guys. How's your team played?
We've been really competitive all summer. It's been one of those where we played games 61 and 62 between the spring and summer last weekend. We're kind of at that midweek or midsummer break for us. We always take the 4th of July off. Our guys specifically needed that, kind of get away from each other for a while, and it's an opportunity for them to go be kids. But overall, I think we've been playing really good defense. Spurts of offense, got to get a little more consistently scoring runs, but got to be happy with where we're at.
And you mentioned having that weekend off. How big is that with the stretch run? You've got your own tournament, district tournament. You're going to be banging heads against a lot of these teams potentially come district play.
Yeah, it's just an opportunity for them to go be kids. I mean, we ask a lot of them, starting with spring baseball. We start, December, small groups. They've been doing baseball a long time, so we encourage them to go out, be kids, don't blow their fingers off, come back after the 4th of July ready to go for the home stretch.
Talking with Josh Redmond, he's the head coach for Kearney and going to be the head man for the Cornhusker League All-Stars. As you've watched the opponents, are there any guys that you were really thinking, hey, this is a guy I kind of want to see play and have a chance to coach who, if you could get him on my team, it'd be cool. Any of the guys on the other teams that you like to come in and see play?
There's 20 really good baseball players here. When I was going through kind of mapping things out, and I wrote the batting order for the first inning, I was like, that'd be a pretty fun lineup to play with. You bring in the guys like the Chase Burton from Hastings, Gage Gannon, Bear Antos for GI, guys that we play against a lot. The Jones kid from North Platte. In Columbus, where you got the Gustafson kid, who's a very good contact kid. I mean, it's fun because you can kind of piece things together and then go see what we can do.
And then one thing about it, you get a chance to make some subs and play everybody today.
Yeah, it's fun. It took me about an hour and a half, 2 hours to get everything kind of somewhat organized for the game today, and we'll make adjustments as we go, but at least we have a plan going in.
He's Josh Redmond. He's the head coach for Cornhusker and the head coach for the Cornhusker League All-Stars. We bring you Sodbuster Baseball.
Hastings Sodbusters baseball's in full swing, bringing you another fun-filled summer of high-level collegiate woodbat baseball at historic Duncan Field. A great way to spend a summer evening with your families at a Sodbusters baseball game. Go online to HastingsSodbusters.com for their home game schedule or to purchase tickets. Hastings Sodbusters Baseball. It's a hit.
Got the spirit of the game. The Hastings Sodbusters.
Let's face it, we move our bodies around a lot. And sometimes things happen. A tweak, twist, pull, strain, ache, or pain. At Fisk Chiropractic and Sports Care, their goal is to restore your mobility, keep you moving, and ensure your rehabilitation is effective, efficient, and stress-free. Do you suffer from headaches and neck pain? Lower back or sciatica? Call Fisk Chiropractic and Sports Care today. Start to discover wellness through chiropractic care. Fisk Chiropractic Sports Clinic.com. Start feeling better now.
Time to show off here tonight. The Cornhusker League Legion All-Stars versus the Hastings Sodbusters in tonight's exhibition game. The Cornhusker League Legion All-Stars gathering players from all across the state, but mostly from the Tri-Cities, Grand Island, Hastings, and Kearney, plus North Platte and Columbus. And most of those teams, summer teams, having pretty darn impressive years for the summer so far. And you look at, Steve mentioned in the Sodbuster interview that, last year Grand Island was kind of the head honcho of the Cornhusker League standings, but this year it's kind of anybody's right now. Most teams with winning records, specifically Kearney standing at 18-10. They're a 5-2 versus Cornhusker League opponents so far. Grand Island 5-3 in the league, 16-13 overall. They go under Grand Island Home Federal for their sponsor. Hastings 5 Points Bank at 18-6. They've got the best percentage record, but they're only 4-3. The Cornhusker League has given them a bit of troubles. North Platte 1-3 in the league and 10-16 overall. Columbus 1-6 and 11-11 overall. But districts not too far around the corner, and a chance to make a Legion State, if you will. There's specific levels to Legion States that just depend on how much you keep winning and how far you're willing to go in the postseason. I know, for example, a couple of years ago, out in the capital city, Lincoln East, they actually went off to a don't exactly remember the level of it, but they went to pretty much the highest level of Legion Nationals, and they made it pretty far as well. So it's an opportunity for guys, and the Hastings, Grand Island, Kearney, North Platte, and Columbus guys are set to do it as well. They've got lots of talent on the team. We'll tell you all about that because there are 20 players on the team. Most everyone will see the playing field tonight, minus an injury or two, but should be a pretty fun contest tonight. Steve Stein.
The level you were talking about was the American Legion World Series in Shelby, North Carolina. As Class A teams, they battle to try to go to the Central Plains Regional. And you've got the two state tournaments and Class A competition in Nebraska. The winners of those two tournaments square off. Both of those teams advance on to the Central Plains Regional, and then the winner of the Central Plains Regional. And I can't tell you the exact format this year. I know in years past it's been Minnesota, Iowa, North and South Dakota, and Nebraska that are involved with that. There was a time Hastings actually hosted a regional tournament, but they hosted a different regional with teams from basically the South, from here and south, if you will, as you had teams coming up from Kansas, from Arkansas, from Oklahoma. But last few years, Nebraska's been involved in the Central Plains Regional, and that team you spoke of a few years ago, Lincoln East getting all the way to Shelby, North Carolina. Pretty neat opportunity for that crew. As far as this Cornhusker League, it is kind of goofy. In the final week of the regular season, you mentioned it, Kearney's 5-2, Grand Island's done at 5-3. Huge win for Grand Island as they battled from behind to win a one-run game on the home field against Hastings. Hastings 4-3. North Platte actually controls its own destiny to a point. They are 1-3, but they have a doubleheader against Columbus. They play Grand Island. They play Kearney. If they win out, they're going to be 5-3 and would force a tie between Kearney and Grand Island. And I think then Grand Island would be the number 1 seed. North Platte would be the number 2 seed. They would square off in the league championship game. If North Platte loses any of their games, Kearney's going to be in and Grand Island's going to be in. So there's still a lot to be decided, and their championship game is next Wednesday at the higher seed.
Area tournaments start later this month at around the 23rd, and then state will either be at Grand Island or Papio South or some other state. The juniors, they'll head to the Omaha area, so Legion baseball, kind of like spring baseball too. You've got your area or districts, if you will, and if you win enough, then you get to go on to state and chance to advance to play at a higher level. So even though it is an exhibition game tonight, lots of fans are already pouring into the stands. See a couple Grand Island hats, a couple of Kearney, and even Hastings hats. But again, 4 representatives from each team in the game tonight. So we'll run over just all the representatives so far right now, and then we'll tell you about who the starters are. For Hastings 5 Points Bank, they've got the talented 4 Gentlemen of Chance Verton, Jack Chagru, Carlos Jimenez, and Isaiah Shaw. Grand Island Home Federal's representatives are Gage Gannon, Broxton Barrientos, Ian Ahrens, and Gabe Ruiz. Kearney Misco Sports has got Griffin Novacek, Cole Throckmorton, Derek Nonhoff, and Rhett Mundorf. Then for Columbus Cornerstone Insurance, it's Sawyer Kimberling, Quentin Gustafson, Spencer Shotkotsky, and Grant Zuha. Finally, for North Platte, Great Plains Health, Landon Greeno, Caden Jonason, Easton Jones, and Dean McIntyre. And Josh Redmond, who we talked with in our pregame interview, is doing the head coaching. His brother Jake, also at Kearney, is an assistant coach with the team as well. Kirby Wells, the head coach of Grand Island Home Federal and the spring program, also an assistant coach. And then Cody Schilling from Columbus, he is another one of the assistant coaches. Blake Marquardt, the head coach for Hastings, he isn't on the roster, and saw he was throwing batting practice earlier today. Said, yeah, coach, didn't see you on the roster. He's like, yeah, I kind of disorganize it and let everybody else do the work for it. He's a super humble guy. He's the one that organizes this annual All-Star event, which is super cool, and it's going to be a little bit different because, like we said, the Cornhusker League All-Stars, they're going to be swinging the aluminum, but I would assume that the Hastings Sodbusters would stick with their wood bats. Some of them might go aluminum. I saw mostly wood bats sitting outside the dugout here this evening, so I assume that would be the case. Probably don't want to change up your swing too much just for an exhibition game, but this is all fun and games tonight. Of course, you do want to get the win. Cornhusker League Legion All-Stars got the win last year 7-6, and Hastings is back in regular action on Friday.
It's all just fun and games, but it's not. It was fascinating to be down in the Legion All-Star dugout because they knew last year that the Hastings Sodbusters, they had a couple of guys who are, really good athletes, and so they had a couple of technically PO guys, pitcher only, who played in the field, and that kind of bugged. I don't know if it bugged the players, but it bugged a couple of the coaches, Legion coaches, and they were saying, let's go do that again, and we'll beat you again. And on the Hastings side, I mean, the Sodbusters, hey, Coach Josh Printer mentioned it in the postgame earlier this week. They need to beat somebody. They're on a little bit of a skid, and I don't care who's on the other side. They need to find a way to compete, and so it's all fun and games. But I think both these teams want to go out there and win, and for the Sodbusters, they come out arguably throwing their ace today. Now, I don't think anybody's going to throw a lot of pitches, so you're going to have them ready to go for a busy schedule coming up. But the Hastings Sodbusters, they're in this to win it today, particularly after last year. I mean, I think that kind of stuck in their craw a little bit that they lost to these high school dudes 7-6. And keep in mind, these high school dudes, almost all of them are going to be playing college ball, and you'd hope to have a lot of them come and play for the Hastings Sodbusters next summer. That would be really cool because there's a lot of guys from the Tri-Cities who are going to be playing college ball, and you sometimes get a Grand Island, Hastings, some Kearney players, and it'd be great to see these guys in the green and gold next year. Absolutely.
So the Sodbusters, like Steve mentioned, on a little bit of a skid right now. They've lost 6 consecutive games dating to the middle part of last week where they lost that unfortunate doubleheader to the Plainsmen, and then they got swept in Casper, and then losing to Fremont 6-3 back on Monday. So the Sodbusters and Cornhusker League Legion All-Stars are set to go in just a few moments. We're going to take a short break, and then we will have the starting lineups for you right after this at Duncan Field.
At Hastings College, we celebrate all the ways you shine. From more than 20 athletic teams to band, choir, theater, and art, plus esports, creative writing, speech, and media. Join in to earn a scholarship and find your people, the friends you'll hang out and have fun with. It's what makes Hastings great. So check out Hastings College, where your experience matters, in the classroom and in the activities you love to do. Visit us at hastings.edu.
Core CPAs is your locally owned, full-service accounting firm. Our team of professionals have years of accounting experience and focus on building in-depth relationships with our clients. Our comprehensive and customized solutions are tailored to your specific needs. We pride ourselves in our commitment to integrity, objectivity, and professionalism. At Core CPAs, we provide tax services, payroll, bookkeeping, assurance and financial reporting, and much more. Visit our website at corecpas.us.
Welcome back to Duncan Field. It's time to introduce tonight's starters for this exhibition game, which once again will only be a 7-inning contest. First for the visitors. Well, some of them they play on this field, but some of them not even close to it. For the Cornhusker League Legion All-Stars, Caden Jonason from North Platte will lead things off and play left field. Then it's Broxton Barrientos from Grand Island, batting second and playing right field. Griffin Novacek from Kearney bats third and plays center field. Easton Jones from North Platte will play third base and do the third base. He'll bat fourth, beg your pardon. Chance Verton, he'll bat fifth and be the designated hitter. He's from Hastings. Landon Greeno from North Platte, he will be the first baseman batting sixth. Cole Throckmorton will be the catcher and will bat seventh in the batting lineup. He's from Kearney. Quentin Gustafson from Columbus, he will be the second baseman and he will bat eighth. And then finally for the Cornhusker League Legion All-Stars, it's Jack Shagru. He is a Hastings guy from Adams Central and will play shortstop. Jonason, Barrientos, Novacek, Jones, Verton, Greeno, Throckmorton, Gustafson, and Shagru. Derek Nonhoff, the lefty from Kearney, is set to get the start on the mound tonight. And now for the Hastings Sodbusters, their starting nine from top to bottom. It's Christian Loera leading off and playing shortstop. Drew Vega will play center field and bat second. Jaden Shabry will bat third and play second base. Weston Johnston, the designated hitter in the cleanup spot. Graham Hilton, the catcher. Brock Cross, the third baseman. Luke Cossey, the first baseman. Zane Wilson, the right fielder. And Jackson Crane, the left fielder. Loera, Vega, Shabry, Johnston, Hilton, Cross, Cossey, Wilson, and Crane. Josh Printer, the head coach of the Hastings Sodbusters. Corey Caranda, Andy Chase, his assistant coaches down in the dugout. But both teams opting for the black jerseys tonight on one of the hottest days of the week. It is in the 90s, very sunny. The wind is also blowing a little bit of that hot air around. And for the Hastings Sodbusters as well, it's one of their local guys from Hastings and a graduate of Adams Central, Creighton Jacobitz. So Jack Shagru, he was from Adams Central. He was actually a sophomore when Creighton was a senior on the team, so I assume those two know each other pretty well. And maybe a little bit something on the line here, but the high schoolers against the college guys. A step aside for our national anthem ahead of tonight's exhibition game and the first pitch in just a few moments.
Coming out, James Deacon will be performing the national anthem for tonight's game. So I would ask you to rise, take off cover, and face the center field flag as James sings the national anthem.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
And let's play ball. The Cornhusker League Legion All-Stars versus the Hastings Sodbusters. As I mentioned, both teams opting with the black uniforms tonight. But the teams from Kearney, Grand Island, Hastings, North Platte, and Columbus trying for their second straight win over the Hastings Sodbusters in back-to-back years. And they will turn to Creighton Jacobitz on the mound for the Hastings Sodbusters. And like we mentioned, he's a local kid from Hastings, pitched at Adams Central, and Creighton just finishing up his second year at Cloud County Community College. And actually ran into his dad, Adam. We actually work in the same building in Hastings, and said some nice words. Said he appreciated the broadcast that we do, and Said, of course, it's nothing better than calling summer baseball. I asked him, well, this was back when Creighton had just made his first couple starts of the season and had pitched no hits appearances on the mound in back-to-back appearances, and said, well, has he gotten any calls yet? And he said, oh yeah, he's gotten some interest for sure, and he's still deciding on his school after finishing up his 2 years at Cloud County Community College. But Jacobitz set to make his 7th start of the year. 35 and a third innings, has a record of 3-1. He's given up a total of just 10 earned runs, 10 walks, and the big number for him, the 38 strikeouts. He has had at least 8 strikeouts in 4 of his 6 outings, and he's got a ERA of 2.55 on his outing tonight. Jacobitz last out, the 25th in Casper. He went 5 innings, did not factor into the decision. Got a hits, 5 runs, a walk, and 3 strikeouts, so not as much of an effective outing for him, but he will look to pitch on the mound he is ever so comfortable with, and even pitch against some guys he might have pitched in at the high school level a couple years ago.
92 degrees at game time. Winds out of the south at 11, blowing in from center field, or in from right center, if you will. It's a typical summer night for baseball here at Duncan Field.
Wouldn't have it any other way. Leading off for the first batter of the game, this is Caden Jonason, who swings through strike 1 to get behind 0-1. Caden Jonason from North Platte. He'll be taking his talents to Phoenix College to play baseball next spring. Swings and misses at the off-speed changeup, looked like, for Jacobitz. It's quickly no balls and 2 strikes. Jonason for the North Platte Great Plains Health Team this summer is hitting .303 and knocked around 6 doubles. Jacobitz misses outside. The Sodbusters playing in the spacious confines of Duncan Field. 370 down the left field line, 367 to right, 405 to the alleys, and 408 to dead center field. The 1-2 to Jonason, too high. That's according to home plate umpire Nate Williams. And Nolan Shagru, the older brother of Jack Shagru, who's playing in this game, is doing the first base umpires and field umpire duties tonight. Jacobitz 2-2. That's poked into shallow rights. Out there is Zane Wilson measuring it up, and he does make the catch for the first out of the ball game tonight. 1 up and 1 down. Caden Jonason retired.
Just weird to hear the aluminum ping. We're used to the wood bat of summer baseball. Of course, the high schoolers all use aluminum bats for their summer Legion team, so swinging the bats they're accustomed to today.
Next, we will go to the Grand Island part of the roster. It's mostly Hastings, Grand Island, and Kearney in the starting lineup. The occasional North Platte and Columbus guy, and then foul ball down the line for the Grand Island guy, Broxton Barrientos. And Barrientos, he is a stud for that Grand Island spring and summer team. He's a big offensive guy and plays a pretty mean outfield as well. The 0-1 from Jacobitz, not close. 1 ball and 1 strike. The defense for the Sodbusters tonight from left to right field. Jackson Crane, Drew Vega, Zane Wilson. From third base to first base, it's Brock Cross, Christian Loera, Jaden Shabry, and Luke Cossey. Graham Hilton gets the start behind the dish tonight. Barrientos sprays it back to the screen, and for most of the Tri-City guys, they make the trip to play Hastings in the spring and summer here at Duncan Field, so definitely not their first go at it. It's the Columbus and North Platte guys, maybe not so much. North Platte did play Adams Central, even though that was a Class A and C matchup in the spring, but they played in North Platte. 1-2 is outside, and Jacobitz with the 2-2 count. And also no game changer tonight, since this is an exhibition game, no official stats, so we're the official scorekeepers tonight. We'll be deciding if stuff are hits or errors or all that good stuff in between. The lefty delivers. Good take by Barrientos on the breaking ball that was bearing in on his back foot. So the count is run full, 3 balls and 2 strikes. Barrientos is tearing it up at Grand Island Home Federal this summer. A .405 average for him, 18 ribbies. And he works a walk with 1 out here in the first inning.
Yeah, Barrientos has been a standout in high school and Legion ball, headed to Cloud County for his next college stop.
Now here is another stud. I feel like we're going to be saying stud a lot today. That's the reason that they are here. The Allstars, the best of the best here in the Nebraska region. Griffin Novacek, the lefty from Kearney, he has got some power in his bat. First pitch from Jacobitz is popped in the air. Oh no, the backswing got Graham Hilton. And he goes down.
Whew.
You heard the foul ball and the crack of what you hope is the mitt or the helmet. But Graham Hilton, he got the backswing from Novacek right there, and he is shaken up. The injury bug has been plaguing the Sodbusters all summer long. Oh, goodness, yeah, there's some blood on the head of Graham Hilton there, so he is going to have to very likely come out of this game.
Huh.
Yeah, somebody get him a towel, for goodness sakes. He's got a gash on his front right forehead of some sorts, as that backswing just got him right there. So the Sodbusters, they're gonna have to go to a backup catcher first off in the game, and top of the first inning, not what you want to see. However, it does look like Hilton is okay. He is just, he's touching his head. He is up and seems like he is moving around, but goodness gracious, he got that bat right on the forehead. So I feel we're going to have a little bit of a delay in the game right now, but I'm just shocked that Hilton is up on his feet right now and appears to be all right. The Sodbusters are going to have to make a defensive change here.
Yeah, pretty tough kid for Graham, because he's just standing like, yeah, I'm fine. Just, okay, give me a towel. And catchers are a different breed anyway. You almost feel like Graham's going to say, all right, put a Band-Aid on it, let's go. But, yeah, like you said, you would think that they would make the change in a situation like this. It's 93 degrees, feels like probably 100. And now you've got this situation. It's been a scary couple of days here in central Nebraska. Yesterday, Grand Island was involved in a game with Hastings, a Cornhusker League matchup, and Gabe Ruiz was struck by a batted ball. He actually stayed in the game for a time before he suffered some dizziness in the dugout. And so Ruiz, one of the Cornhusker League All-Stars who is supposed to come from Grand Island, is not here today. And so Gabe Ruiz feels the pain of Graham Hilton right now, and you just hope that Graham's all right as Scott Galusha is out to wipe the blood off of Graham Hilton. And you know that Griffin Novacek feels bad about that. Cornhusker sports guy who's going to be headed to western Nebraska for his college stop. And I'll tell you what, it certainly looks like Graham Hilton's going to stay in this game. I don't know.
I mean, with the concussion protocol and all the stuff like that, all signs would point to that somebody else would need to come in for him, but maybe that is not the case. And like you mentioned, it's a hot day, and while it may not hurt right now, it's only going to get worse. The dizziness kind of sets in after a while, and it doesn't get any better than that. We'll just say that until a couple days later. So Graham Hilton being attended to on the field right now, and while he is being attended to, we're going to step aside for a few moments. We'll check in with Graham Hilton when we return in just a few moments on Sodbuster Baseball.
Blue Fork Kitchen features elevated comfort food in a family-friendly, fast casual environment. With a full menu, you can sit down for a nice meal or order online for pickup. From salads and wraps to burgers and steaks, Blue Fork Kitchen has your kind of food. Open Tuesday through Thursday, 11 to 9 p.m., and Friday and Saturday, 11 to 10 p.m., with a special brunch buffet Sunday from 9 to 2 p.m. Blue Fork Kitchen is located in the Cimarron Plaza, 38th and Osborne Drive in Hastings. Like them on Facebook.
Make your next pit stop at the Coach's Corner. A friendly staff and a deep lineup of snacks. You can find Coach's Corner in North Hastings on Osborne Drive East. More than just a gas station, Coach's Corner is the place to get delicious pizza made fresh for you and your family. Don't take our word for it. It's so good it'll be featured at selected Sodbuster home games this season. For a convenient and clean experience, be sure to check out the new convenience store in North Hastings, Coach's Corner.
Let's face it, we move our bodies around a lot. And sometimes things happen, a tweak, twist, pull, strain, ache, or pain. At Fisk Chiropractic and Sports Care, their goal is to restore your mobility, keep you moving, and ensure your rehabilitation is effective, efficient, and stress-free. Do you suffer from headaches and neck pain, lower back or sciatica? Call Fisk Chiropractic and Sports Care today. Start to discover wellness through chiropractic care. Fisk Chiropractic Sports Clinic.com. Start feeling better now.
Blue Fork Kitchen features elevated comfort food in a family-friendly, fast casual environment. With a full menu, you can sit down for a nice meal or order online for pickup. From salads and wraps to burgers and steaks, Blue Fork Kitchen has your kind of food. Open Tuesday through Thursday, 11 to 9 p.m., and Friday and Saturday, 11 to 10 p.m., with a special brunch buffet Sunday from 9 to 2 p.m. Blue Fork Kitchen is located in the Cimarron Plaza, 38th and Osborne Drive in Hastings. Like them on Facebook.
There's nothing like relaxing on a summer day. Nothing like taking in a Hastings Sodbuster baseball game. And there's nothing like an ice-cold Pepsi to make the day perfect. Pepsi Cola of Hastings wants to make your nothing like be the best day it can be, whatever the occasion. Enjoy your favorite refreshing Pepsi product throughout the Sodbuster season and make your nothing like memories. Pepsi Cola of Hastings, a proud sponsor of Hastings Sodbuster Baseball.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, the catcher you're seeing on your screen is still Graham Hilton.
Wow.
He is going to be like a, Stevie made the joke, wrapping him up like a Civil War soldier, just wrapping the bandage around his head like they would back in the old days, and he is going to stay in this game after he was just hit in the front of the head by a backswing by Griffin Novacek. So we restart with an 0-1 count. And if I'm Graham Hilton, I am backing up as far as I can in the catcher's box and just reaching my armor out there. I'm willing to sacrifice my arm rather than my noggin a second time. But he is continuing in this game, and Novacek fouls that one off. It's 1-2 strikes. Griffin Novacek from Kearney. Going to be going to Iowa Western Community College, be a Reaver next year, but his stat line this summer, just phenomenal. 442. He's got 6 home runs. And Kearney's Memorial Park is no cheap shot. That's a called strike 3. I don't think Novacek realized it, too. A late call by Nate Williamson, the home plate umpire. A breaking ball by Jacobitz. And Novacek is down on strikes.
I think Novacek forgot about strike 1 too, as he was the one that he was the one that swung in the beginning, and that strike 1 took place a long time ago.
So it's the lefty versus the righty. Ground ball up the middle. Loera ranging over off the bat of Easton Jones. He'll flip it to the second baseman, Jaden Shabry, and he will step on the base for the final out of the inning. So the Cornhusker Legion Allstars, they will strand the one-out walk, and the Sodbusters will try to strike first in the bottom of the first inning. We return after these messages.
Core CPAs is your locally owned, full-service accounting firm. Our team of professionals have years of accounting experience and focus on building in-depth relationships with our clients. Our comprehensive and customized solutions are tailored to your specific needs. We pride ourselves in our commitment to integrity, objectivity, and professionalism. At Core CPAs, we provide tax services, payroll, bookkeeping, assurance and financial reporting, and much more. Visit our website at corecpas.us.
Hi, I'm a baseball umpire. My job can get pretty stressful. I have to keep my eyes open at all times, and if I don't make the right call, people boo me. So to relax, I visit a Nebraska lottery retailer like this one and buy some scratch tickets. It always calms me down. Hey, you cut in line.
I did not.
All right, you're out of here.
Hey, he didn't cut.
All right, you're out of here.
I feel better already. The Nebraska Lottery. Top prize odds vary by game.
It is All-Star Baseball here at Duncan Field. Thanks for tuning in to our broadcast tonight. Exhibition game. Just 7 innings of baseball set to be played tonight. The Hastings Sodbusters, they will take aim at the left-handed pitcher Derek Nonhoff. He is from Kearney, and he is a guy that doesn't throw it very hard. He kind of reminds me of Marcus Miller for Hastings. He is a finesse guy. He locates pitches very well, and he is able to, he's been able to have a pretty successful spring and summer on the mound as the lefty, so both sides going to the left-handed pitcher tonight. Derek Nonhoff, the pitcher, against Christian Loera, the batter. That is well outside for ball one to start things off. Derek Nonhoff, he'll be staying in the, kind of the region here he'll be in the GPAC League at Dortz, the defenders in the GPAC. They're in the same league that Hastings College is in. So Nonhoff could technically play on this field once more in the college season, but mainly a pitcher. He'll also see some at-bats as well. Christian Loera at bat for the Hastings Sodbusters. Loera, he is a .315 hitter, did have a hit in the Monday game against Fremont, and that 6-3 loss. Called a strike on the outside corner. Loera throws away the bats. Thought he had a walk. Nate Williamson said, "Come on back. You'll have to see another pitch, young man." Loera 1 for 5 in Monday's game with a couple of strikeouts. Guy who was on a tear in the middle of last week. That one ball 4 for sure this time as Nonhoff issues the leadoff walk for the Cornhusker Allstars.
Nonhoff, you mentioned he has been really good at 2.72 ERA. He made 7 appearances so far and won 6 of them in 36 innings.
Wow.
Guy who had only walked 6 all year and walks the first guy he faces here at Duncan Field.
You know, the fact that has roughly a strikeout per inning when it almost looks like he's kind of just lobbing it in there. But again, the command and the movement on his pitches are the key to his success. And the Legion All-Stars, they're going to be moving around with each inning, so we'll keep you updated on those as best we can. We'll tell you the defense right after this pitch. It's a called strike down low to Drew Vega. For the All-Stars in the outfield, it's Caden Jonason, Griffin Novacek, and Broxton Barrientos from left to right. Easton Jones, Jackson Chagru, Quentin Gustafson, and Landon Greeno from third to first. Vega sprays it out of play. Cole Throckmorton from Kearney is the catcher for the Cornhusker All-Stars. So Kearney battery on the mound and behind the plate. So you got to know that these guys know what Throckmorton knows what his pitcher likes to throw in the spring and summer. There goes the runner. Throckmorton with the gun down to second on a hop. It is bobbled by Chagru at shortstop. That probably would have been an out if it's received well, but Christian Loera has a stolen base.
You think Sodbusters aren't in it to win it? You've got your starting catcher, gets hit in the head with the bat. He stays in. Loera steals a base. Sodbusters are wanting to come out and put an early number on the board here against this Cornhusker American Legion All-Star team.
53 stolen bases now for Hastings this year. And Drew Vega, who pops it into foul territory. It is caught, tagging at second, and going all the way to third with no throw is Loera. And also worth note, Vega was using an aluminum bat, I just realized.
Yep, I think you've got the opportunity to swing aluminum if you'd like to. Vega with the pop-up there. Good job for Landon Greeno to retreat and make that catch in foul territory.
So that is the first out of the inning. The game's potential first run is on third base. Now it's time for Jaden Shabry. He puts the aluminum bat to right field. And in foul territory, the catch is made. Here comes Loera, and a throw is up the line. It's a sac fly for Jaden Shabry. Well, interesting there. I thought maybe Barrientos might let that drop because in foul territory, if you just let it drop, then runner can't tag and score, but he elects to catch it. So the throw just off target. Hastings up 1-0.
The epitome of small ball. Loera, a walk, a stolen base, advances on a pop-up to the first baseman and scores on a sac fly. It's kind of the Hastings ball we saw early in the year. Maybe that's the way to kind of get the offense going.
Weston Johnston, chopper to third. Easton Jones has to hurry it over. Oh, man, look at the stretch at first base by Greeno. It's in time for the out. 5-3 on the first pitch, ground out, and Derek Nonhoff tagged for a run in the first inning. As the Sodbusters get a run on no hits, they don't leave anybody, but they have the lead for the moment. Top of the second after this.
Let's face it, we move our bodies around a lot. And sometimes things happen. A tweak, twist, pull, strain, ache, or pain. At Fisk Chiropractic and Sports Care, their goal is to restore your mobility, keep you moving, and ensure your rehabilitation is effective, efficient, and stress-free. Do you suffer from headaches and neck pain? Lower back or sciatica? Call Fisk Chiropractic and Sports Care today. Start to discover wellness through chiropractic care. Fisk Chiropractic Sports Clinic.com. Start feeling better now.
Core CPAs is your locally owned, full-service accounting firm. Our team of professionals have years of accounting experience and focus on building in-depth relationships with our clients. Our comprehensive and customized solutions are tailored to your specific needs. We pride ourselves in our commitment to integrity, objectivity, and professionalism. At Core CPAs, we provide tax services, payroll, bookkeeping, assurance and financial reporting, and much more. Visit our website at corecpas.us.
Welcome back to Sodbuster Baseball. New arm on the mound for the Hastings Sodbusters. This is Ethan Marshall, and it's going to be his 6th outing of the year, his 6th appearance, to be his first outing out of the bullpen, but this will be the first time since May 25th that he has pitched here in Hastings. He has pitched 4 consecutive times on the road, but the lefty, he has been awesome this summer for the Sodbusters. 3-1 record. He's given up 19 earned runs, walked 13, struck out 17. A 6.10 ERA. Seems a little bit high, but he had a couple of bad outings recently. Spearfish and Casper the last 2 times where he was tagged for 9 and 7 runs respectively. Otherwise, his first 3 starts pretty darn good. He'll look for some success against the middle of the Legion All-Star order.
And you feel for Marshall, it's like he doesn't get a chance to pitch in the 408 to center field ballpark, so his ERA is going to be higher when he's pitching at Casper and at Spearfish and at Pier.
Well, here is Chance Verton for the Cornhusker League Legion All-Stars, the Hastings product. He'll be playing baseball in Arkansas City, Kansas next year at Cowley County Community College. Lefty takes downstairs, so you got Central Community College, you got CCC here in Hastings, Grand Island, and Columbus, and down there I guess it's CCCC. Down low again, and Chance Verton, he has worked the count, 3 balls and no strikes. Chance Verton, the senior, he was the leader, a 3-sport athlete in basketball, football, and baseball. And he had a nice spring for the Hastings Tigers, who made the state tournament for the first time in several years since 2021. Part of a team that went 13-13. They made the state tournament as the 8th seed in Class B, but lost both of their games. Burton is swinging and missing at the 3-1. It's now 3 balls and 2 strikes. Payoff pitch from Ethan Marshall, grounded foul over the first base dugout.
The Athletic Center is a training facility that
Chance Verton this summer for the 5 Points Bank seniors. He has had himself a summer. He's hitting .500. A couple of homers, 3 triples, 5 doubles, and 19 ribbies. Payoff pitch. Verton gets a piece of it again. He signed his commitment to Cowley County Community College last winter. The Vertons, a well-known family here in the Hastings area. Marshall still trying to put him away here. And he will with strike 3 called at the knees. Verton didn't think so, but Nate Williamson said it was good enough. That's the second backwards K for Sodbuster pitchers tonight.
Good first inning for Creighton Jacobitz, and Marshall starts with a strikeout.
So now it is up to Landon Greeno here in the second inning. Taking a look at the replay, that one looked like it was probably right at the knees on that strikeout from Marshall right there. Strike called on the next batter, Landon Greeno, from guy from North Platte. He's down on the count, 0-2. Greeno, the first baseman, made that nice catch in foul territory in the first inning. Hitting .328 this summer. That's a float shot down the left field line. Jackson Crane can't get to it. It falls fair. Greeno hits first. He's headed to second. The throw in there is not in time. A little bit of a bloop double for Landon Greeno. That is the first Cornhusker Legion All-Star hits, and you can hear he's got a big cheering section for him in the stands tonight.
Good to see that young man get a hit, get down the line. Jackson Crane, really no man's land, nothing he could do about that.
Just perfectly placed right there for sure. And now here's another power bat for the Cornhusker All-Stars, Cole Throckmorton. He is committed to play baseball at Iowa Western Community College. He takes ball one inside, and it gets off the catcher's glove, Graham Hilton, and going down to third on the pass ball is Garino. Cole Throckmorton for Kearney. This summer, he's also, like I said, a big power guy. 378, has a homer, a triple, and 11 doubles, 30 runs driven in for the Kearney Misco sports team that currently sits at a record of 18-10. Ball 2 is downstairs. Kearney Misco and Hastings, they've had some pretty epic battles this summer in Legion so far. Wave and a miss. Ethan Marshall gets the swing right there. Told you last night it was Hastings and Grand Island squaring off, and Grand Island Juniors won 9-1, and the Grand Island Seniors came back with a 4-run 6th inning to beat Hastings 6-5. Pitch downstairs from Marshall to Throckmorton. It's now 3 balls and 1 strike. Also worth noting, the Sodbuster infield is in. They are trying to throw the runner out at the plate if a ground ball is hit right to them. The 3-1 fouled off the glove of Hilton, and the count will run full. Also worth noting, Greeno doesn't have the best speed. You saw him get from second to third on that pass ball, so you figured maybe the infield could back up a little bit because Throckmorton, he's got a big bat. A 3-2 pitch. Got a piece of the breaking ball and stays alive. Kearney Misco 18-10. The Kearney High School team, they went 22-11 in Class A this spring. They made the state tournament as a lower seed, and they were defeated in both games. 3-2 pitch is ball 4. Throckmorton works the 1-out walk. Runners at the corners for the Legion All-Stars.
Good news for the Sodbusters, though. Double play back in order. That will put the middle infielders back, and we'll see what they can dial up right here in a 1-0 Sodbuster game.
Again, lots of changes going to be made throughout the game, especially defensively, and for Hastings, they don't want to burn out too many arms with an important weekend series coming up. Pitch up and away to Quentin Gustafson. Gustafson, the lone Columbus guy in the starting lineup. He is going to be headed to McPherson College in Kansas next spring. 1-0 out of play. Columbus, the summer team for them, or their spring team, they went 13-16. Did the Discoverers in Class A. So far this summer, Columbus an even 11-11. Pick off to first, nothing doing there. But Quentin Gustafson, he's been having a monster summer, as are most of these guys. He's hitting .433. 4 of them doubles. A very good contact hitter for Columbus Cornerstone Insurance. 1-1 blocked by Hilton, but the runner does go to second on the wild pitch. But it does keep the runner at third.
Unfortunate there for the Sodbusters, so the double play goes away. And that'll be interesting to see. We saw Hastings play in with a runner at third, and they will bring the infield in again here now with the no chance to double play.
Count is 2-1 on Quentin Gustafson. Off speed, misses outside. Outfield not playing very deep either. Vega and Wilson in center and right are playing probably a couple steps in what they normally would. Crane pretty normal depth out and left. Hitters count. Fouled out of play again, and it'll be a 3-2 pitch. Cornhusker League Legion All-Stars looking for their second straight win over the Hastings Sodbusters in as many years. Last year they had to come from behind to do it. Today they will have to do so in some fashion as well as they trail it 1-0. Marshall's 3-2. Called strike 3 in the outside corner. Went with the back door and gets the call. Gustafson caught looking. All 3 strikeouts for Hastings pitchers on backwards Ks.
And you want to talk about a scorekeeping challenge. Looking at the Cornhusker All-Stars, the projected lineup, they plan to pitch 8 pitchers in 7 innings. The Sodbusters, they are going to have a new pitcher every inning, according to stat man Andy Chase. So we expect to see some 14 pitchers today in the game.
Giving everybody a shot in the field. It's all about the All-Star game. Ground ball to short off the bat of Jack Shagru. The throw over to first from Loera is in time. And the Hastings native grounds out. 2 runners left in scoring position for the Cornhusker All-Stars in the second. Sodbusters will look to add on their 1-0 lead when we return.
There's nothing like relaxing on a summer day. Nothing like taking in a Hastings Sodbuster baseball game. And there's nothing like an ice-cold Pepsi to make the day perfect. Pepsi Cola of Hastings wants to make your nothing like be the best day it can be, whatever the occasion. Enjoy your favorite refreshing Pepsi product throughout the Sodbuster season and make your nothing like memories. Pepsi Cola of Hastings, a proud sponsor of Hastings Sodbuster Baseball.
Hastings Sodbusters baseball's in full swing, bringing you another fun-filled summer of high-level collegiate woodbat baseball at historic Duncan Field. A great way to spend a summer evening with your families at a Sodbusters baseball game. Go online to HastingsSodbusters.com for their home game schedule or to purchase tickets. Hastings Sodbusters baseball. It's a hit.
Got the spirit of the game. The Hastings Sodbusters.
Well, we begin pitcher palooza here as we are already on our 4th new pitcher of the game for each side. As we said, we're probably going to be a pitcher and inning for both sides, and taking the mound this time, it's Carlos Jimenez of Hastings High. Plays summer ball with Hastings 5 Points Bank, but he's part of that Hastings team that made the state tournament for the first time in 3 years this year. For Jimenez in the spring, he was their 2nd most innings guy, and he was their best strikeout guy. 28 strikeouts in 28 2/3 innings for Carlos Jimenez. He is caught up with him before the game. He said he's still undecided where he's headed to school in the fall, but he's considering looking into barber school. So he is one of the guys that might be taking the more professional route rather than baseball. But Jimenez, he's got a good fastball, and he's got some very good breaking ball stuff as well. And expect to see him have a nice outing here for the 2nd inning.
And if any of the dudes need a haircut, maybe do a little practicing before the game.
I might hit him up after this.
There you go.
My main barber, he got married last weekend, so
he can't be a barber anymore. Wow, that's pretty rough.
Yep,
it's like being a priest or something.
It's either me or the business,
that's
John.
Right. I guess so. That's man, I did not realize.
Luckily, I don't have very much hair to work with in the beginning, so. He said he's taking this week off, and I was like, dude, you take as much time as you want. Congratulations, and I'll see you when I see you. Carlos Jimenez on the mound, and for the Hastings Sodbusters, Graham Hilton, Brock Cross, Luke Cossey scheduled up, and Graham Hilton will get in at bat here. We just want to keep a close eye on his health. If you're just joining us, he was hit by a backswing on a bat back in the 1st inning and had a pretty serious cut above his eye. But he is still in the game. He also will elect to use a piece of aluminum today. Uh-oh. The throwback to Jimenez gets away, but Hilton at the dish with the 1-0 count. Carlos Jimenez on for the first time. Hilton's had a pretty nice summer. He's .250 average, 10 for 40. For him as the Sodbuster. The righty Jimenez deals, and a big wave and a miss by Hilton to get it to a 1-ball, 1-strike count. Graham Hilton with 5 runs driven in. Pitch just misses outside on that one right there. 2 balls and 1 strike. The defense remaining the same. For the Legion All-Stars, they're expected to make some more changes in the later innings. Hilton appeared as a defensive replacement in Monday's game against Fremont, and he went 0 for 1 in his only at-bats. Jimenez has worked the count 3-1 to Hilton. And that is softly hit to the second baseman, ranging over Quentin Gustafson. Throws on the run. Nice play by Gustafson to get the batter out. The Columbus product making the play at second.
Hilton, good to see him put it in play, and it'll be interesting to see if he stays in. I thought maybe they'd give him a bat and then pull him after he got hit, but may not be able to get him out of the order. Who knows?
Sodbusters do have a couple of catchers still on their team. they could go with to replace him. Just got to keep a close eye on him with his head getting smacked a couple innings ago. Brock Cross swings and fouls back the first pitch to the screen. Brock Cross from Lake Havasu City, Arizona. Going to be one of the Division I guys next spring at Arizona State. Cross 294 hitter, 20 hits for him. He is among the team leaders in hits. He is currently 4th on the team right now in hits behind Luke Cossey, Weston Johnston, and Christian Loera. That one high and tight. Cross has to spin out of the way. 1 ball and 1 strike. Just getting going in the bottom of the 2nd inning in this 7-inning exhibition game. 1-1. Breaking ball is right at the on-deck hitter, let's see, the in-the-hole hitter, Zane Wilson, who fortunate enough to get a hand on that.
That was almost right behind Brock Cross. That is crazy that he pulled it that severely, and you're just hoping you don't get another guy hurt in the on-deck circle like it did earlier this year.
Fastball up high. And that was when Jet Hannaford got a foul ball right in the groin area a little bit more than a week ago here at Duncan. Cross trying to get the first hit for Hastings here in this game, but he takes ball 3 downstairs. Carlos Jimenez, Hastings High Tiger on the mound. His head coach Blake Marquardt, a big hand in organizing this annual exhibition game. Cross puts a deep charge into one way back to left field. Jonason racing back, and that is headed towards the wall. Cross has a double, and he will stop right there with a wall ball of a double. Cross electing to use the aluminum bat, and he hit that one a long way, and he puts himself into scoring position with 1 out.
I think everyone in the lineup is going to elect to use aluminum bats today for the Hastings Sodbusters to get the opportunity. And, you know, a team that has been struggling offensively, it is nice to hear the ping and see one go a long way. And we'll see if they can take advantage of their first hit of the day. The Hastings Sodbusters do have a 1-0 lead.
So for Brock Cross, that is his 6th double of the summer, which increases his lead to the team best in 6 doubles. Luke Cossey, he's wood bat swinging and puts a deep charge into that. Outfielders converge. It's going to be the center fielder, Griffin Novacek, making the catch. Cross tagging at second, heading to third. The throw is close, but not quite in time. Luke Cossey with a deep fly out to right center field. Now the runner to third base with 2 outs.
He should have used the aluminum bat. That may have been a gapper as hard as he hit it, and good base running for Brock Cross. And how about the arm of Griffin Novacek? That was a lot closer than I thought it was going to be. Yep. He really brought it.
So now in the bottom of the 2nd with 2 outs, it'll be up to a base hit from Zane Wilson to try and get the run home. That last batted ball, 95 miles an hour off the lumber. Wilson takes a strike at the knees. Zane Wilson from Clarkston, Michigan, one of the Saginaw Valley State guys. He's been seeing a little bit more playing time than what he did at the start of the season. Into the air to right field, Barrientos ranging over towards the line, and he will shut it down and make the play for the final out of the inning. The Sodbusters strand a runner at third base, as they do get their first hit of the game, but cannot bring it around to score. 1-0 after 2 innings of play between the Cornhusker Legion Allstars and the Hastings Sodbusters.
Make your next pit stop at the Coach's Corner, a friendly staff and a deep lineup of snacks. You can find Coach's Corner in North Hastings on Osborne Drive East. More than just a gas station, Coach's Corner is the place to get delicious pizza made fresh for you and your family. Don't take our word for it. It's so good it'll be featured at selected Sodbuster home games this season. For a convenient and clean experience, be sure to check out the new convenience store in North Hastings, Coach's Corner.
Blue Fork Kitchen features elevated comfort food in a family-friendly, fast casual environment. With a full menu, you can sit down for a nice meal or order online for pickup. From salads and wraps to burgers and steaks, Blue Fork Kitchen has your kind of food. Open Tuesday through Thursday, 11 to 9 p.m., and Friday and Saturday, 11 to 10 p.m., with a special brunch buffet Sunday from 9 to 2 p.m. Blue 4 Kitchen is located in the Cimarron Plaza, 38th and Osborne Drive in Hastings. Like them on Facebook.
1-0 in the third inning here between the Hastings Sodbusters and Cornhusker Legion All-Stars, and pitcher Palooza continues. New arm on the mound for the Hastings Sodbusters, and new guy on the mic, Steve Steins, got you.
Thank you very much. Austin Raines will take the hill in Independence League competition, 0-1, a 3.86 ERA. He made 4 appearances so far, 11 innings pitched, allowing 8 runs, 4 of those earned, 11 hits, striking out 6, walking 4. He's hit 1, opponents hitting .262. His last outing was a setback at the hands of the Plainsmen. He was a losing pitcher, and he also pitched against Fremont on June 7th, 1 inning, no runs, no hits, as he is going to be going up against Isaiah Shaw. Shaw will lead things off here in inning number 2, as we expect to see a lot of different guys in the batting order as this game goes on. Inning number 3, and Shaw is batting for Jonasson at the top of the order. And the pitch right across for a strike, as an opportunity to see Isaiah Shaw at a 5 points bank in Hastings. 327 for the summer, 6 runs batted in, 19 runs scored. Little brother of Jacob Shaw, former Hastings Sodbuster. Isaiah Shaw standing in the left-handed box, and the right-handed pitcher Austin Raines winds and delivers. 1-2 pitch is bounced back up the middle. Charging is Loera. The shortstop throws to first in time. 1 up and 1 down here in inning number 3.
Yeah, Isaiah Shaw, definitely an all-star by even just the family name for Shaw, but he was the team leader in hits for the Hastings High Tigers this spring, even though he missed almost the first week of action with a leg injury. So he's a good hitter, and hopefully see him get another at-bat.
Here's Dean McIntyre. He's a North Platte guy batting for the first time today, and Dean McIntyre swings and misses here. Dean McIntyre at .290 with 12 runs batted in for the North Platte Great Plains Health Team, and takes this pitch low. He's also a pretty good pitcher. A couple of wins on the mound and a 4.5 ERA in 10 innings pitched for North Platte Great Plains Health. They're 10-16 after getting a sweep of Grand Island USAVE yesterday. Big swing, no contact, 1 ball and 2 strikes, the count. After the ground out from Shaw, Dean McIntyre getting his first opportunity at the plate for the Cornhusker League All-Stars. We expect an entirely new batting lineup, second time through, and a swing and a miss. Austin Raines comes up with a K, and 2 quick outs here in the third inning of a 1-0 game. Hastings Sodbusters on top.
Yeah, Raines does a great job of just blowing it by hitters. He's got the high energy movement delivery, if you will, and kind of deceive hitters, fastball or breaking ball, but nothing wrong with that heater right there.
And Novacek will stay in. He bats in the 3rd spot in the batting order. He's the starting center fielder and will remain in the game at the center field position and at the 3 spot in the batting order. Say we were given potential batting lineups as the game wore on, but everything was kind of in pencil there. Just kind of see how the flow of the game goes. Righty-lefty matchup, and this one struck solidly to right, and overrunning it is Hastings Sodbuster Zane Wilson, and a lot of running for Novacek. He's around first, headed to second. Could he be sent home? No, as he will stay at third base. And if you are the head coach, Josh Redmond of Kearney Misco Sports, you are not going to send Novacek home knowing that you've got 3 more weeks of baseball to play. You don't want to see anybody get hurt on a play at the plate. He'll settle for a triple and a runner at third and 2 men out.
Yeah, obviously the fans wanted him to come home, and I was kind of hoping the same thing too, but that's unfortunate for Wilson right there. He realized that the ball was coming in a little bit harder than he realized. He tried to plant his feet, slipped and fell, but very fortunate that he was able to get there along with Drew Vega to hold him to a triple and a chance to still escape with no damage done.
Ian Aarons, Grand Island guy, steps to the plate. Ian had a prig day yesterday. He had a home run, his 3rd of the year. That helped key a comeback win over Hastings 5 points bank. Standing in the left-handed box here, no balls and a strike, and takes the pitch for a ball, 1 ball and 1 strike on Ian Aarons. He'll be a senior at Northwest High School. 5 doubles. Got 21 runs batted in and 30 runs scored
as this pitch is fouled away. 1 ball and 2 strikes. 2 outs, 1 on, 1-0. Hastings Sodbusters lead the Cornhusker League All-Stars. They played a very competitive game last year and kind of the same story this year. Now, Austin Raines pitching for the Sodbusters. There's no action behind him. It might indicate that he will stay in and pitch another frame. We'll see how it goes. Andy Chase informed us that there would be a new pitcher every inning, but again, plans change. A little bit of fluidity here in this exhibition game between the Sodbusters and the Cornhusker League All-Stars. 2-2 pitch and a good check swing and a nice stop there for Hastings Sodbuster catcher. Graham Hilton thought he had strike 3 as he made the tag. Again, Graham hanging in there. Saw him after he got hit in the head with the backswing of the bat. They wrapped him up, put like gauze around his head, and he put the helmet back on and stepped back in. Pitch is fouled away. It remains 3 balls and 2 strikes now on Ian Ahrens. Ahrens part of the Grand Island Home Federal team, which won the Cornhusker League title a year ago, beating Hastings for the championship. And right now, Kearney at 5-2, Grand Island has closed play at 5-3, Hastings 4-3, and North Platte 1-3. All of those teams still have a chance to make the championship game. As the walk is issued, Ahrens aboard, runners the corners now with 2 outs for the next batter in the lineup, and it will remain Chance Verton. Verton, a Hastings guy, will get his second at bat. He struck out his first time.
That's a good eye by Ahrens. You know, in an all-star game, you don't want to be going up there looking for walks, but selfless approach right there to know that it's still a team game, even though you're trying to show off your individual skills and give your guys a chance, the next guy in the lineup, especially when Verton, such a lethal hitter.
How about 500? 2 home runs, 3 triples, 5 doubles. 500! It's not slow pitch softball, it's American Legion baseball, and he's had a great summer for Hastings. Bounces this one back up the middle. It could be trouble. It's into center field for a base hit. Ahrens started to make the round. Now will scamper back in as the throw comes behind him, but it's an RBI single for Chance Verton. Batting 500 for the year, batting 500 for the All-Star game, and has a run batted in as it's now a 1-1 tie with runners at first and second for the Cornhusker League All-Stars.
And how about that? The first 2 guys get retired pretty easily, and then 3 consecutive reach, a triple, a walk, and now an RBI single for Verton. He knows how to hit. He knows situational hitting here. This is home field after all. And a nice shot right up the middle to tie this game up.
Landon Greeno has a double already, and he stands in and takes ball 1. 1 ball and no strikes on Greeno. Landon Greeno out of North Platte, Great Plains Health. He's either going to go to Western Nebraska Community College to play baseball or go to school at the University of Nebraska. 1-0 pitch, so either will make the trek out to the Panhandle or to the east coast of the state. And Greeno, 328 coming into this game. 3 doubles, 12 runs batted in, 16 runs scored. And watches the pitch go by as it's now 3 balls and no strikes on Landon Greeno. Runner at second base here, Ian Ahrens. Runner at first, Chance Verton with the game-tying RBI single. And the pitch, called strike on Landon Greeno. Cornhusker League All-Stars under the direction of Josh Redmond, the head coach. His brother, Jake Redmond, is an assistant coach. Then you've got Kirby Wells and Cody Schilling. Bouncing ball back up the middle. Nice stop for Christian Loera. He makes the work of Landon Greeno, but the game is tied. A run on 2 hits and 2 men left, and we head to the bottom half of inning number 3. It's 1-1, and this is Sodbuster Baseball.
Core CPAs is your locally owned, full-service accounting firm. Our team of professionals have years of accounting experience and focus on building in-depth relationships with our clients. Our comprehensive and customized solutions are tailored to your specific needs. We pride ourselves in our commitment to integrity, objectivity, and professionalism. At Core CPAs, we provide tax services, payroll, bookkeeping, assurance and financial reporting, and much more. Visit our website at corecpas.us.
Let's face it, we move our bodies around a lot. And sometimes things happen, a tweak, twist, pull, strain, ache, or pain. At Fisk Chiropractic and Sports Care, their goal is to restore your mobility, keep you moving, and ensure your rehabilitation is effective, efficient, and stress-free. Do you suffer from headaches and neck pain, lower back or sciatica? Call Fisk Chiropractic and Sports Care today. Start to discover wellness through chiropractic care. FiskChiropracticSportsClinic.com. Start feeling better now.
Welcome back to Duncan Field. It's another new pitcher in this All-Star game as we will get a look at Spencer Shotkoski. He plays for Columbus Cornerstone Insurance. Get a chance to see him for the first time. Shotkoski 1-0 for the year, 24 strikeouts in 32 innings pitched. As an ERA of 2.10, Spencer Shotkoski for the 11-11 Columbus Cornerstone Insurance team. They're 1-5 in Cornhusker League competition, with their only 2 games remaining against North Platte coming up on Thursday. First pitch swinging, and it's a foul ball off the bat of Jackson Crane. No balls and a strike for the Arkansas Tech Wonder Boy. Jackson Crane at 233, hitting .333 at home, however. Has a couple of triples, 4 runs batted in, 11 RBIs, and 7 runs scored, and fouls the pitch back. It's 2 strikes, the count on Jackson Crane, number 9 hitter. Thus far, no defensive replacements for the Sodbusters, and Austin Raines looks like he'll come out for a second inning of work, as we've seen no action behind him. Pitch is fouled away. Remains 2 strikes on Jackson Crane. Sodbusters trying to regain the lead. They have 1 run on 1 hit. And the Allstars with 1 run on 3 hits. As the right-hander Shotkoski winds and delivers. Pitch is taken upstairs. 1 ball and 2 strikes. We expected some defensive changes, and I believe that has happened. We'll at least give the tentative plan anyway. As behind the plate, that is McIntyre. He gets his first opportunity to catch today. As Dean McIntyre, ball tailing inside, and it gets a piece of Jackson Crane. So hit batsman, leadoff man aboard, and Christian Loera will come to the plate. He walked and scored the lone run for the Sodbusters. Playing first base, believe it's still Greeno. Got Mundorf at second, Zuha at third, Kimberling the shortstop, Aarons, who entered the game as a pinch hitter, out in left, Shaw in center, Verton in right. That was the projected lineup we had for the 3rd inning when the day began for Josh Redmond. Pitch is in there for a strike. Christian Loera. No balls and a strike to Christian, who's played some good defense as usual. Josh Printer doing coaching for the Sodbusters at third. Corey Caranda, first base coach. Runner at first and nobody out. Sodbusters trying to regain the lead as the pitch drops in there for a strike. 2 quick strikes on Christian Loera. The third pitcher of the day, Spencer Shotkoski. Shotkoski, Columbus SCOTUS grad, headed to Northeast Community College and to close out his baseball as he's going to be just going to school. At some point, you kind of realize, all right, time to move on, and he'll be working on his degree, but good opportunity to play here in this Cornhusker League All-Star game and be wrapping up the season. They're the only team in the Cornhusker League that's not going to be involved in the A7 area tournament at the end of the year. Kearney, Grand Island, Hastings, and North Platte all playing in that Western area tournament. No balls and 2 strikes, the count on Christian Loera, and Shotkoski brings it home. Loera pops it up, but foul and out of play. It remains no balls and 2 strikes. I believe Loera, couldn't tell by the sound of that one. And the wood bats used to be all the same color, but now the wood bats, you can't tell by looking at them whether it's wood or aluminum because they come in all colors as well. As Shotkoski out of the stretch, pitch. It stays upstairs. Loera giving it a battle here as he'll be seeing the 6th pitch of this at bat. After the leadoff hit batsman from Jackson Crane. Sodbusters' next action will be July 4th. If you're a Sodbuster fan in the region, it'll be a 4:30 start time against the Fremont Move. 4:30. This one rifled to center field, but very much playable. And over to make the grab will be the center fielder, Shaw. So 1 out as Isaiah Shaw at the center field spot for this Cornhusker League All-Star team.
Usually a right fielder in the spring, but Shaw, he's a fast guy. He can play just about anywhere, and even with The batter using the metal bat right there, not far enough to get it over the center fielder's head.
Drew Vega comes to the plate now, wants to lay down a bunt, does so. It's a dandy on the third base line, no throw. Nice decision there for the Cornhusker League All-Star backstop, as McIntyre said, there's no way I'm getting him. And Drew Vega, vintage Drew, getting an infield single here. He had a multi-hit game in the most recent outing for the Hastings Sodbusters, and now 2 on and just 1 out.
Yeah, you can't place it any better right up the third base line, and as a catcher, you're just praying hopefully it's going to go foul. Nope. All right, tip your cap. That's just an easy bunt single.
Just deadened it right about 5 feet up the line. As Jaden Shabry a chance to do some damage here. He had a sacrifice fly his first time up. He's already squared the bunt. Sometimes you'll see him pull it back and slap at it. He said, we'll take it. Runners go. Throw to third, and that is not going to be in time. Double steal for the Sodbusters. Crane takes third. Vega takes second, and now there's 1 man out. And 2 in scoring position for Jaden Shabry.
Yeah, kind of tough for Sawyer Kimberly at third base to get back to the base and slap on the tag. If he is in a better position, they might get him there at third.
Big chance here now. It's a 1-0 count as Shabry was able to pull the bat back, and now he swings away and fouls it away. Jaden Shabry, nearing the end of his time, going to be leaving us on July 12th. He's been battling the arm issues most of the summer, so he'll be heading back home and thinking about his next college stop. Speaking of college, Creighton Jacobitz earlier today signing with Arkansas Tech. He will be a Wonder Boy. Big swing, no contact on the high, hard one. 1 ball and 2 strikes the count on Jaden Shabry. It's a 1-1 tie here in the third. Infield is in for the All-Stars. Chance here for the Sodbusters to get multiple runs on the board. As see what Shabry can get done. And the 1-2 pitch. Swing and a foul ball. Just got a piece of that one. It remains 1-2.
And just a piece of it. Maybe a molecule of it there. You couldn't really hear the foul ball back to it, but nobody reacting to it. Shabry barely gets life to swing at another here.
Another 1-2 pitch on the way from Sodbusters. Little dribbler back to the pitcher. No chance to score the run. Throw to first, and that is a big out for Sodbusters and the Cornhusker League All-Stars. 1-3 on the putout. Runners remain at second and third, and Weston Johnston will try to pick up the pieces here.
Good job by the runner, Crane, at third base, and also the pitcher, too. Really trying to score the run, but you don't want to get caught in a rundown right there. Crane did the right thing going back to third, and Sodbusters did the right thing, and look at the runner back as well.
Certainly looking like Austin Raines will get the 4th inning for the Hastings Sodbusters. There's been no action in that Sodbuster pen. As here comes Weston Johnston. Johnston grounded to the third baseman his first time up. Bottom half of inning number 3, and the third pitcher for the Cornhusker League All-Stars. And the pitch. Fouled back to the screen. No balls and a strike on Weston Johnston, who came into today the batting average of .343, but .372 here at home. Of course, none of these stats will count in terms of the Sodbuster Independence League. Just an exhibition contest. Chance to swing the bat and get better, and hopefully win yourself a ball game. This one rifled to right field, but right there, no problem for Verton. Chance Verton in his tracks, and the Sodbusters cannot score. No runs, 1 hit, 2 big men left as we head to the 4th inning. It's a 1-1 tie, and this is Sodbuster Baseball.
There's nothing like relaxing on a summer day. Nothing like taking in a Hastings Sodbuster baseball game. And there's nothing like an ice-cold Pepsi to make the day perfect. Pepsi Cola of Hastings wants to make your nothing like be the best day it can be, whatever the occasion. Enjoy your favorite refreshing Pepsi product throughout the Sodbuster season and make your nothing like memories. Pepsi Cola of Hastings, a proud sponsor of Hastings Sodbuster Baseball.
Hi, I'm a baseball umpire. My job can get pretty stressful. I have to keep my eyes open at all times, and if I don't make the right call, people boo me. So to relax, I visit a Nebraska lottery retailer like this one and buy some scratch tickets. It always calms me down. Hey, you cut in line.
I did not.
All right, you're out of here.
Hey, he didn't cut.
All right, you're out of here.
I feel better already. The Nebraska Lottery. Top prize odds vary by game.
Welcome back to Duncan Field as we head to the fourth inning. Well-played game. 1-1 the score. 1 run on 3 hits for the Cornhusker League All-Stars. 1 run on 2 hits for the Hastings Sodbusters, and Austin Raines will go out for his second inning of work as he did allow a run with 2 outs and nobody on. That misplayed ball that turned into a triple, and then a walk, an RBI single before the ground out ended the threat. Sodbusters had 2 on, 2 in scoring position with only 1 man out, but could not score in the bottom half of that frame. And it'll be 8, 9, and 1 coming up here for, I should say 7, 8, and 9 coming up for the Cornhusker All-Stars, as we will see a first pitch swing and a boot from Cross, stays with it and throws out Grant Zuha. Grant Zuha into the game. And first pitch swinging for the Columbus product, and he goes down. Heck of an effort there for Brock Cross. It kind of ate him up, but he took it off the chest and picked it up and threw him out.
Yeah, that one probably had to smart a little bit, but credit Cross for not adding insult to injury and getting that ground ball over there, and always helps to get the first man out.
Here's Sawyer Kimberling, a second Columbus player to bat in a row as Sawyer Kimberling takes strike 1. Sawyer Kimberling, he's going to be playing college ball at Southeast Community College, a Columbus High grad. And he watches this one go by for a ball. 1 ball and 1 strike. Zuha, a Columbus SCOTUS grad, who's going to be headed to Southeast Community College, but he'll not be playing baseball. So those 2 guys can ride to school better or together, or come home together if they want. A couple of Columbus guys from 2 different schools, but both headed to Southeast Community College. Pitch fouled back, 1 ball and 2 strikes, 1 out, nobody on. A 1-1 tie here in the fourth as Austin Raines, the first pitcher to go multiple innings in this contest. Raines brings it in, and the pitch fouled away. Remains 1 ball and 2 strikes on Kimberling. Sawyer, 4-12, 9 doubles, 19 runs batted in, 8 runs scored for Sawyer Kimberling out of Columbus Cornerstone Insurance. Grounds this one to Cross, plays this one perfectly, and the long throw is in time, so a couple of chances here for Brock Cross. A little bit more smoothness in that particular effort for Brock Cross, and there's 2 men out.
That one more of a tailor-made play right there, and nice throw over to first. Can get a little bit tricky. We've always talked about the sun here. Those balls can disappear on you, or it can make your throw a little off target. Nothing wrong with that play there.
Rhett Mundorf, new batter for this All-Star team, as 20 on the official roster, 19 in uniform today, and they'll all get an opportunity to swing at college-level pitching before the day is done. Mundorf, a Kearney Misco sports player and a Kearney High School graduate. 1 ball and 1 strike, the count on Rhett Mundorf. Mundorf is going to go to school at Black Hills State, and if you got to pick a campus to go to, that's a pretty nice place to go. Up in Spearfish, South Dakota, just right nestled on the outskirts of the Black Hills. 1 ball and 2 strikes and 2 outs. Of course, last time this team got 2 outs, nobody on, and rallied for a run. Raines trying to finish the deal this time as the pitch fouled away. Remains 1 ball and 2 strikes on Rhett Mundorf. Mundorf, 143 batting average. And he takes strike 3 here. Good job for Austin Raines to set him down in order. See if Sodbusters can grab the lead. It's a 1-1 deadlock as we head to the bottom half of inning number 4, and this is Sodbuster Baseball.
At Hastings College, we celebrate all the ways you shine. From more than 20 athletic teams to band, choir, theater, and art, plus esports, creative writing, speech, and media. Join in to earn a scholarship and find your people, the friends you'll hang out and have fun with. It's what makes Hastings great. So check out Hastings College, where your experience matters, in the classroom and in the activities you love to do. Visit us at hastings.edu.
Blue Fork Kitchen features elevated comfort food in a family-friendly, fast casual environment. With a full menu, you can sit down for a nice meal or order online for pickup. From salads and wraps to burgers and steaks, Blue Fork Kitchen has your kind of food. Open Tuesday through Thursday, 11 to 9 p.m., and Friday and Saturday, 11 to 10 p.m., with a special brunch buffet Sunday from 9 to 2 p.m. Blue 4 Kitchen is located in the Cimarron Plaza, 38th and Osborne Drive in Hastings. Like them on Facebook.
Fourth different pitcher for the Cornhusker League All-Stars as we head to the bottom half of inning number 4, and it is Redmond, the guy who just got the at-bat. He is now going to be on the hill as he had 6 appearances so far this summer, 14 and a third innings, a 1-2 record of 5.37 ERA, allowing 17 runs, 11 of them earned. Allowed 28 hits, struck out 5, walked 6, and hit 3, and he's going to be facing the 5, 6, and 7 hitters for the Sodbusters. Another competitive game. Last year, Hastings dropped a 7-6 decision to the Cornhusker League All-Stars. And a great opportunity for Hastings to kind of take their breath and get ready to get back into the heart of the Independence Baseball League schedule, and for the high school grads and some of them seniors to be. Fun to play college-level pitching because many of these Cornhusker League All-Stars are going to be playing college baseball. So, and plus, any chance to play at Duncan Field, does it get much better than this on a summer night here as July 4th approaches?
Well, Mundorf, a guy that wasn't really part of the Kearney bullpen or rotation in the spring. He only had a 10 2/3 innings, which was 4th least on the team, but did have a decent spring. And a Kearney team that went 22-11 and made the Class A state tournament.
Here is Graham Hilton. Hilton 0 for 1, a ground out. Just happy to see him standing at this point after he was struck by a bat on a follow-through, and blood was pouring forth from his head, but rub some turf on it and get back out there. And that's been Graham Hilton, and he's still in there. Bottom half of the 4th inning. If it would be me, I would see 2 balls coming in there and to swing, or 3, swing at the middle one. But Graham, pretty tough kid. 1 ball and 1 strike on Graham Hilton. Here's the pitch. That one is taken for a ball, 2 balls and a strike on Graham Hilton. Hilton, righty-lefty matchup. Graham Hilton playing at Northern Oklahoma Enid this past year, and he lines this one to center field, carrying well, and this is going to be extra bases. This will get all the way to the wall. Hilton hits the second base bag. He's headed for 3, and Graham Hilton has himself a 3-bagger. Then he almost stops on the bag and falls down. He has had himself an interesting day, to say the least, as Graham Hilton crushes one. Guy's going to be leaving us after this weekend, and good to see that for Graham Hilton.
Well, he's the guy that hit right there, that's gone in most ballparks right there. I think that probably got almost all the way to the wall. No chance for Isaiah Shaw to get back all the way to catch that one, and that's got to feel good for Hilton to get beat up on early in the game and just crush a ball to the wall there.
Here's Brock Cross trying to deliver that run from third, and he hits it pretty well to the left center field gap, and that is going to clear the center fielder's head. Cross hits the second base bag. He's going to try for 3, and it is back-to-back triples for the Hastings Sodbusters. A double and a triple for Brock Cross. He's got a run batted in, and the Hastings Sodbusters have regained the lead at 2-1.
Well, the Sodbusters picking on Rhett Mundorf early in the counts. 2 big swings early in the count for both players. And, yeah, that aluminum bat right there for Cross, providing a little bit extra power there. Isaiah Shaw might need to call timeout and catch his breath there after running down 2 very deep fly balls.
Here's Luke Causey stepping to the plate, and it looks like Austin Rain's day is going to be done after 2 innings. The last 2 balls off the bat, 94 for Cross, 99 for Graham Hilton, so both guys getting their money's worth, and the next Sodbuster pitcher will be Elijah Thomas, another lefty getting ready to go for the Hastings Sodbusters. And the pitch. This one is looped into center field, but it carries a little farther than I thought it would as Shaw makes the catch. Scoring from third will be Brock Cross. 3 successful at-bats here as Luke Causey has a sacrifice fly to center after the 2 triples, and the Sodbusters take a 3-1 lead.
Just good situational hitting right there. Causey didn't try to crush the ball or pull the ball and roll over on a lazy ground out. Got it in the air, knew what he needed to do, and no problem for Cross to cross the plate.
Here's Zane Wilson, flew out to right his first time up as Rhett Mundorf does record his first out. Everybody hitting the ball to the outfield in this particular frame. Zane Wilson, 0 for 1 of the contest for the Hastings Sodbusters. And Wilson coming into today, Saginaw Valley State. Pitches taken outside for a ball. 1 ball and no strikes
on Zane. There's a couple of runs batted in and 5 runs scored. Picked up his 3rd stolen base of the year in the loss to Fremont on Monday. Those same 2 teams will battle this Friday, 4:30 the start time here at Duncan Field. So if you're in central Nebraska, again, a 4:30 start time for July 4th. Chance to see the Sodbusters and the Fremont Moo. Count 1 ball and 2 strikes on Zane Wilson. The wind and the delivery from Mundorf. Called strike 3 as Wilson couldn't pull the trigger. 2 outs in the inning, and Jackson Crane will try to reignite the O.
Yeah, Mundorf was just peppering the outside part of the zone with those pitches right there and had Wilson guessing most of the times, and he guessed wrong on the last one.
Again, the projection is that Cornhusker League All-Stars will use at least 7 different pitchers. Jackson Crane swings and fouls it back. No balls and a strike. Sodbusters, I think the plan was to use 7 different pitchers, but Austin Raines worked 2 innings and did a great job setting him down 1-2-3 in that 4th. Here's the pitch inside, and it hit him. Jackson Crane will keep the inning going with a hit batsman, and it'll be Christian Loera come to the plate for Hastings. The score, 3-1. Hastings Sodbusters with the lead. 3 runs now on 4 hits. All-Stars have a run on 3 hits. It's been errorless baseball so far in this particular contest. And Christian Loera, a walk, a stolen base, a run scored. He's also flown out to center field. As Mundorf brings it home. Kearney guy brings it a little bit high. 1 ball and no strikes. The Cornhusker League All-Stars, they make special T-shirts for their team, so they each have their numbers, their names on those T-shirts, and then wear their own team hats. Good opportunity and a great idea. These teams getting together and playing the Hastings Sodbusters, the second time that this has happened. Little pop-up on the infield, and the second baseman over to make the play. That is Gustafson, as the Sodbusters will settle for 2 runs. 2 runs on 2 hits, and 1 man left, and we head to the 5th. Hastings 3, All-Stars 1. This is Sodbuster Baseball.
CPAs is your locally owned, full-service accounting firm. Our team of professionals have years of accounting experience and focus on building in-depth relationships with our clients. Our comprehensive and customized solutions are tailored to your specific needs. We pride ourselves in our commitment to integrity, objectivity, and professionalism. At Core CPAs, we provide tax services, payroll, bookkeeping, assurance and financial reporting, and much more. Visit our website at corecpas.us.
Let's face it, we move our bodies around a lot. And sometimes things happen. A tweak, twist, pull, strain, ache, or pain. At Fisk Chiropractic and Sports Care, their goal is to restore your mobility, keep you moving, and ensure your rehabilitation is effective, efficient, and stress-free. Do you suffer from headaches and neck pain, lower back or sciatica? Call Fisk Chiropractic and Sports Care today. Start to discover wellness through chiropractic care. FiskChiropracticSportsClinic.com. Start feeling better now.
Out of the 5th inning of a 7-inning contest, 3-1. Hastings has taken the lead. The Sodbusters will turn to Elijah Thomas out of Contra Costa College. The Comets, he's from Rodeo, California. And Elijah coming in. His Sodbuster stats, a 3.5 ERA in 4 appearances. And we welcome Scott Galusha alongside. Fun opportunity. I don't know if you came up with this idea or if it was Mark Wart last year, but what a fun little exhibition with guys who are going to be playing in college against guys who are playing in college. And so a really fun matchup.
Well, it started with Kirby because we're right down the hall from one another.
Okay.
And one day he said, "What do you think about doing this?" And I said, "Okay. I think we could probably do that. The only problem is our schedule is pretty tough to do." And he told me he was all involved. And a couple of weeks later, I talked to Blake, and he gave me a few days that might work. And so we thought we might do it. And so it is fun. It's it's just a neat thing. We get to see a few different people in the stands. Our guys kind of have we want to win. They beat us last year. We didn't take it quite so seriously last year, and that cost us, and it doesn't really matter. other than, we just want to keep competing, and it was good for them that this All-Star team is really talented. They got kids up and down the line, and trying to tell kids from all over the country that these 20 kids from these 5 communities are really good players. It's kind of a tough sale sometimes, but they've got the 2 biggest guys in the park in their lineup. And so, it's fun. And I know Kirby and, of course, the Redmonds and Mark Wart and all the guys from Hastings. So it's fun to be down there and visit with them and talk to them a little bit about what we do. So it is fun. It's a hard game for us because really everybody thinks we should win, but they're just as talented as we are, and they have something to prove. And we're trying to figure out what to do between off days.
And Throckmorton batting in his second different spot of the batting order. He hits this one hard to left field, and that's reaching up and making the grab. Jackson Crane. That's why it's nice to have some experience out there, because that was headed toward the wall. Into the sun, battling. And
I think that's Jet.
Oh, okay.
And again, free substitution day is impossible for you. But I saw 14 out there, so I think that's Jet.
Okay, so we'll put that change. It's hard enough to figure out the All-Stars because they're batting guys in different spots in the batting order. So it's okay. Line to 7. We think Jet Hannaford's out in left field now. That's very, very good possibility.
I think so. But good luck with the scorecard. Don't keep this one when you get home. It's a tough one today.
Just get the final score. I know that's what I had from last year, a 7-6 final, as batting now is number 4. As Shaw is batting for the second time. He was at a different spot in the batting order the last time, so Shaw's batting here in the 2 spot of the batting order. We think if there is a 2 spot in the batting order, they need to do it like Little League, where you just bat them all in the same order over and over. But
it's kind of they talked about that a little bit, and neither side wanted to do that. They just kind of want to. It's supposed to be fun,
sure.
And so really, at the end of the day, it doesn't really matter. And Jacob Shaw came in and asked me if there's a old Sodbuster discount for him to come in. So he was pretty excited to be back.
And Isaiah Shaw takes the pitch inside, and it's missing. 2 balls, 2 strikes on Isaiah Shaw, little brother of Jacob. Is Jacob still at Northwest Oklahoma State? We know that?
He is done. He is graduated and finished. Actually, he is working for the city of Hastings right now, and he's wanting to get in the insurance business. And I've got him in touch with one of our sponsors, who happens to be from Hastings and a former Hastings College pitcher. So those 2 guys are visiting a little bit and trying to get Jake started in the right direction.
Gage Gannon now bats. First time we've seen the former Islander. Going to be headed to Cloud County Community College to play baseball. 309 with a home run, 5 doubles, 15 runs batted in, 6 runs scored for Grand Island Home Federal, which enters tonight's play at 16-13.
Gage is one guy that he doesn't know this yet, but we've already visited a little bit with his coaches, and so this might be a guy that might have the other uniform on next time around. We've had Coach Gilliland down there at Cloud County does a nice job, and so it's been a nice relationship we've had.
Rifles this one to third, throw a little bit offline from cross to the second baseman, Jaden Shabry, and everybody is going to be safe now as first and second and 1 man out.
Just got to make sure one, and that wasn't a great throw, but still got to try to make sure we get one out of that situation. Feel like maybe you just try to do a little bit too much with that.
Ian Aarons bats here for the second time. He drew a walk his first time up. Again, Ian, another Grand Island Home Federal guy, be a senior at Northwest High School. Guy who's knocked in 21 and scored 30 times and has 3 home runs, including yesterday, and that come from behind win over Hastings 5 Points Bank that in reality puts Grand Island in a great position to make the Cornhusker League All-Star game, or I should say the championship game.
Yep.
With a 5-3 record, they trail Kearney at 5-2. They're ahead of Hastings at 4-3. Pitch is in there for a strike. But they have the tiebreaker over both of those teams.
Yep. I was talking to Kirby and Mark or Blake about that a little bit today. So
pitch misses. Good stop there for the Hastings Sodbuster backstop. Graham Hilton. How about Hilton's courage today? I cannot believe that he is still in the ballgame.
Well, it looked a lot worse than it was.
Oh, good.
I mean, when I got down there, because I'll after this pitch, I'll
Because
get
it
you.
looked gruesome. Yeah,
Yeah.
I was out. Yeah, and even though he didn't seem to be showing too much pain,
No.
blood was pouring forth. You did the Civil War
Yeah.
patch up and wrap him in wrap him in bandages and send him back out there.
Well, you know what? When I saw all the blood, and I quickly called for reinforcements, and then when Josh said, "Hey, we need somebody," I got everything ready to go, and then I wanted to go out and take a look at him, and really he looked fine. He passed the concussion test.
Yep.
And once I figured out where the cut was, nice pitch there.
Ian Aarons goes down on strikes. Good delivery there from Elijah Thomas, and now there are 2 men out.
Anyway, it's right on his hairline, kind of right up here in the kind of top right of his head, and it's about an inch long, but it did not split open, but it did bleed a lot. It bled much more than I was a little worried about what I was going to see when I went up there to see him, but he was just fine. And, he didn't want to come in, and I said, stop telling me that. I already know that. I just let me do my job here for a second and make sure you're okay. And he was. He's just fine. He's a tough kid, and he just wants to play just like everybody else.
Here's Griffin Novacek batting at a different spot in the batting order, and he rifles this one foul. He was the guy that had the swing that got Graham Hilton, and, of course, just one of those baseball plays, one of the weird things that happens. Novacek, if you're going to get hit by anybody's swing, he's probably the guy you would not choose. He would be the one that, he swings hard.
He's a huge kid.
6 home runs.
On top of that, that was a great pitch by Elijah to get out of there for us.
And a strikeout of Novacek, and a good job for Elijah to work around an error. And we'll just keep on rolling here with Scott in a 3-1 game. The Hastings Sodbusters have the lead as we head to the bottom of the 5th.
Novacek said, he's got a short swing to the ball and a very, very long, very wide follow through, and he says that happens to him a lot. So fortunately, everything is okay with Graham, and we're in good shape, and he's tough. It's not nearly as bad as what we had earlier in the year at Fremont. If you remember that game, Jude took a ball off the face in the box.
Ooh.
And he had a big knot, and we had to send him through all sorts of tests, but he was fine, and he wanted to keep playing, and thankfully his whole family was there, and his wife was there, and he was well taken care of. But that was much worse than what happened to Graham, although it's still neither one of them felt very good, I'm sure.
Yeah. A new pitcher, again, the Cornhusker League All-Stars. They plan to use a different pitcher in every inning as we get a look at lefty Landon Greeno from North Platte Great Plains Health. Again, a potential college prospect. We'll see how it goes for him. Either going to be going to Western Nebraska Community College, or he's going to be going to school at the University of Nebraska. And you mentioned a chance to see some of these guys.
Oh, yeah.
And you like to get Central Nebraska guys, Western Nebraska guys. It's also a semi-nice recruiting tool. But, okay, here's what you could be playing with for $50 or for 50 games during the summer.
Did you see where I watched the first 2 innings?
Oh, you
I
were
was
from
down
their
by
dugout?
their dugout, yeah. Of course, I know the Redmonds, and Kirby is a good friend of mine for years and years and years. Anyway, I was sitting over there introducing myself to a couple of these guys, and so we hope that they want to come do this, and this is a nice thing to see, and what a better place to play. Hard pressed to find a better place to play your summer baseball than Duncan Field.
And we believe it was Joey Hecker in left field. Chase Miller now at second base for the Hastings Sodbusters. Those are defensive changes. So that Hecker, he hadn't had a chance to play out in the field, so that was a heck of a play for him to be out there.
And I met his mom today. His mom, and his mom came out today, so it was nice to meet her. And he's a nice player. Just got to get a little confidence, just because he literally. About 2 weeks ago was graduating from high school. So this is a little different. First time this far away from home, and he's a Pullman kid, so that's why they wanted him to get out of the area for a while and see what happens. So we're looking forward to him having a nice stretch as we play the next 3 weeks or so.
Drew Vega, an infield single his last time up. Sodbusters on top 3-1. I thought it was interesting that he is from Pullman, going back to Washington State, and it's like you're sent to to the hinterlands.
Yes.
And
so, that happens a lot, though.
Yeah.
I mean, way back, when we were getting some Nebraska kids, a couple times we had some Nebraska kids that wanted to come, and they said, we got to get them further away from home.
Interesting.
And so that, it's just a neat part of our process. This is, for a lot of these kids, it's the first time they've been away from home for an extended period of time, and it's a great way to grow and learn because for the first time you're away. So I know a lot of coaches like to do that, and that's why Joey's here, and we expect him to play really well down the stretch.
Chase Miller now batting. I mentioned he came into the game at second base, and it looks like the next Sodbuster pitcher is getting ready to go. Another lefty, Jacob Buldoin, is out there. It's one thing about it, I know a couple of years ago, I think you had like one left-handed pitcher.
In 2 years.
Yep.
Now we have 50 of them.
Yes, it's just like every lefty, and there's a lot of lefties on this Cornhusker League All-Star team, too.
What a great jump.
Taken high, and the throw down not going to be nearly in time as Drew Vega has himself a stolen base. 3-1 the score. Sodbusters on top. And you mentioned left-handed pitchers. The guy who started, Derek Nonhoff, like him for Kearney. He's another guy if you could find a way to get him in a Sodbuster uniform.
Absolutely. Hey, I wanted to point out, I thought Throckmorton really throws the ball really well down to second base for the All-Stars for Kearney there. He does a nice job. Another big jump again. Oh, darn it.
And this one popped up. Well, it hit pretty well, actually, and it is going to be caught out in left field. A nice job there for the All-Stars as their left fielder. We're now in the bottom of the fifth inning, so we're going to go to their projected defensive lineup here.
Let's see.
As we believe in left field. Is that Shaw now in left? I think he moved to left. We'll have to get the old binocs.
I thought I saw a number 6 on the back of his jersey. What number is that?
Does that be Broxton Barrientos? I don't think that doesn't look big enough to be Broxton Barrientos.
Oh,
maybe
by the way, every time I see Broxton, he looks like he's bigger.
Yep.
I've known him since he was a little kid. Of course, his sister played for me, and sister was good friends with one of my daughters, and so I've seen him. I've literally seen him for, most of his life. It looks like, what number is that? Is it a 4? I think it's a 4.
Yep, so that would be Shaw, Isaiah Shaw. So that's a nice thing about it. We did get a picture of the potential defense for Josh Redmond. Give him credit. He typed out the defensive lineup for every inning to at least try to get a plan because we got 20 kids and trying to play them all. It's not the easiest prospect here.
Looks like Broxton's in center.
Pitch is bounced to the left side against the drawn-in infield. That's going to be a foul ball as the All-Stars trying to keep it a 3-1 game. Runner at third, less than 2 outs, and we'll see if Weston Johnston can get it done.
This is what causes me to not sleep at night. I mean,
bet you love that last inning. 2 innings ago, second and third, 1 out, could not score. But last inning, triple. Huh?
Yes, well, that's easier.
Triple sack fly.
But we just have been, we were 0 for. We had chances to score in the first 3 innings, and really only got 1 in because we were 0 for with 2 outs and runners in scoring position. And the first time they get a chance to hit with 2 outs and a runner in scoring position, they flip one right up the middle. And that's really been what's caused us grief the last six games or so. We're just getting whooped on with 2 outs, both offensively and defensively.
So Weston Johnston trying to come through here with a runner at third and less than 2 outs. A good pitch there from the left-hander, Greeno, and it's now 2 balls and 2 strikes.
That was excellently placed. That looked like a ball out of his hand and just kept working its way back to the outer edge.
Landon Greeno. One of the North Platte guys is you've got 4 players from each of the 5 Cornhusker League teams. Pitch just misses, couldn't get the call from Nate Williams. Nolan Chagru working the field here. 2-man crew for this exhibition game at a decent crowd. A lot of parents and family members from the Cornhusker League All-Stars and some Sodbuster fans as well.
It feels weird to hear bigger cheers when the All-Stars do something right. Gosh darn it.
Swing at one down on the turf, and that is disappointing. And you hope that the Sodbusters, see if Graham Hilton can pick up his teammates. He had a triple his last time. Any old single would get a run home from third.
Just flip one to the grass for us here. Stay on one. Yeah, that's just trying to be a little bit too big. Guessing. Unfortunately, Weston's been a really good hitter for us, good fundamentals. But that time he was trying to pull a pitch that was away from him, and guessed wrong on the speed. So that's what happens when you do that. And those are situations that we've got to clean up in the next 3.5 weeks. And if we do that, we're going to be right in the middle of the playoffs, I think, to get us a shot to win that second half. But we've got to clean up 2 outs, and we've got to do better with productive outs for sure.
As the Sodbusters on top 3-1. Of course, Ryan Jarvis, we said his goodbyes to him this past week.
Yep.
Kind of the heart and soul. Is there a leader, or is there a group of leaders that are kind of stepping forward here as we go into the second half? It's such a dynamic situation with guys coming and going.
Well, it definitely. Well, that's kind of, first of all, that's what summer baseball is. It just happens sometimes with guys coming and going. But Jarvis is definitely, he meant a lot to us, way more than just his offense and defense. He was a leader. He's just a quality young man, and so we miss him in the dugout more than anything else. We've got guys that do it the right way. Drew Vega comes to mind for sure. I think CeeLo, after his problem about a week ago or 10 days ago, he has really started to take a little bit of that role for us, and I think he's got the personality to do that. He just needs to keep working hard.
Graham Hilton gets hit again. That's just, it's been that kind of day. He's hit the ball. He's been hit. This time takes a curveball off the backside, and that was a heck of a lot easier to take than the bat off the head earlier in the game. But he's aboard for the second time in 3 trips. Now runners at the corners with 2 outs. And Brock Cross, who already has a double and a triple today, he is kind of the guy you'd like up there right now,
Definitely,
I think.
Definitely the guy we want up there. You just got to be – the hard part here is you got to be patient. Just because you can't hit it doesn't mean you should. And sometimes we get a little excited because, remember, this is an 18-year-old young man who's having a good day. So you got to be patient to get something hit. And I think if he does, he's going to be successful.
Lefty brings it inside, and it hits him. Unfortunate for the Sodbusters, because if he can get out of the way of it, it goes back to the screen, and the Sodbusters score on a wild pitch.
Yeah.
Instead, the bases are loaded, but now Luke Causey gets an at-bat.
Again, at the start of the year, about every little thing that you don't see in the scorebook goes our way. And right now, again, you said it just right. First of all, that's the hitter we want hitting. Second of all, if he gets out of the way, it's a run. Instead, we take the bat out of his hands, and now we need a big 2-out hit from Luke Causey.
And now it's a lefty-lefty matchup, which probably is a little less advantageous than having Brock Cross up there, as Causey did have a sac fly his last time up. Swings and misses here, no balls and a strike on Luke.
It just pulled off that one a little bit, but I like to see the aggressiveness for him for sure.
Interesting dynamic. This is going to be a bouncer to the right side. Probably the inning. The throw to first is in time, and the Sodbusters do not score. Do they have the choice to swing wood or aluminum, or for the Sodbusters? Yeah, they can just do whatever they feel comfortable.
They do whatever they want to do. That's when Blake and I started talking about the rules, we said, okay, 7 innings is plenty, and we really kind of wanted to keep it baseball, but yet we wanted everybody to play, so that's kind of why we do a little bit of this from a substitution standpoint to make sure everybody gets in the game. But then the one thing is, I said, I don't care if we use wood or metal, but we ought to give both teams whatever option they want. I think that's the right thing to do it. So.
All right. Well, Scott Galusha, are you done with us?
I think, whenever Ryan gets back, I'll give the headset back, and we'll be good. Whenever he comes back in, and here comes Jacob. Jacob's been really pretty good for us down the stretch here for the last couple weeks. Throws hard. Just has to be a little more consistent around the strike zone.
And Jacob Buldoin, the aforementioned Jacob, he is going to be our Sodbuster Spotlight on Friday. So you can tune in for that, as we'll have an interview with the Canadian, and he even speaks a little French for us. That's very cool.
Know.
And, I still can't pronounce his home high school or his hometown.
Yeah, and why try? When he told me how to say his last name, I'm like, how in the world can you get that out of that? That's fine. I practiced it for about 10 minutes to make sure I said it right. But, he's a nice young man, and he's a joy to be around. He's getting better and better, and I think he's going to be a nice piece for the Wonder Boys moving forward.
He is he's a fun guy. Appreciate Scott Galusha joining us as Ryan Valenta making his way in. We'll tell you a little bit about Jacob Buldoin while Ryan gets set to go. Buldoin making 5 appearances for the Sodbusters so far this year. 4.0 ERA, 1-0 with a save.
allowing 5 runs, 4 of them earned, allowing 11 hits, striking out 11, walking 6, hitting 1. Another quality left-hander for this Hastings Sodbuster squad, as we talked about the fact that just couldn't buy a left-hander there for a couple of years, and now you've got a bunch of very good left-handed pitchers. And Boldoin may be the best of the bunch. He throws at almost 90 miles an hour. And Ryan Valenta will take you home here in the final 2 innings of this 7-inning contest with the Sodbusters leading it 3-1.
Steve, I will try my best. Like you said, Jacob Boldoin, he has been one of the guys who has gotten a little bit better just about every time he has come out, which will just be his 6th outing here. Last time out against the Plainsmen. And for him, gave up a total of 5 runs in his first 2 outings, but no runs since then. So in his past total of 7 innings of baseball, he has not given up a run, earned or unearned, in the game. At bat for the Cornhusker Allstars, this is Caden Jonason, beg your pardon, from North Platte. He's the other guy going to also Phoenix College. Him and Easton Jones, North Platte boys, going into the game there. So this is the 6th spot in the lineup for the Cornhusker League All-Stars. And again, batting order is just kind of everywhere. Some guys are getting subbed in, some guys are getting subbed out. But with this being an exhibition game, I actually had the newspaper guy come in over while Scott was in there. He's like, does it seem like they're batting out of order? I'm like, yes.
Yes.
They're batting out of order, and nobody cares.
Yep, they're coming back in. You kind of trying to get everybody about the same number of at-bats, trying to get everybody about the same number of innings played. So fun baseball here, but it's just a nightmare if you're trying to keep score.
So I believe this is, Caden Jonason, he was at the top of the lineup to start off tonight's game. That's out of play, 2 balls and 2 strikes. Jonason flied out to right field in his first at-bat back in the first inning, and unless I'm wrong, I believe this is just his 2nd at-bat tonight.
That's what I have.
Okay. So he's 0 for 1 today, one of the North Platte guys. Hitting .303 this summer for Great Plains Health. Then he swings and misses. Boldoin pulls the string and gets the swinging strikeout. Now 3 consecutive All-Stars have struck out against the Sodbuster pitching staff.
Sodbusters trying to close this out. 5 outs to get, as we will see Quentin Gustafson, a Columbus guy, step in.
Well, this was about the time last year when the Cornhusker All-Stars started a rally and ended up coming back to win the game versus the Sodbusters. Gustafson over the top of that pitch right there. Gustafson, in his first at-bat tonight, struck out looking. Just his 2nd at-bat tonight. 0-1 from Jacob Boldoin, way upstairs. 1 ball and 1 strike. All right, I'm gonna try it after this pitch. We've talked about he's one of the Canada guys, and his hometown a little bit of a mouthful. Well outside, and from the Ontario province, and I trained really hard to Google Translate. He is from Saint-Jean-sur-Richelieu in the Ontario province, and one of the Arkansas Tech guys. It's funny, he's Canadian, and I believe we said French is his first language, correct? And
yeah,
he just looks like a Southern boy, but he's Canadian, very tall. He's got the kind of the beard, the facial hair to go along with it. So, he's one of the most interesting guys on the team, in my opinion.
And you can hear an interview with him where he will say his hometown and his high school correctly. It was a great effort for Ryan Valenta, but that was not it. And I can't say it closer, so I'm not even going to try. But there was a little more.
It's natural.
Yes, the French language just always sounds slurred, and he just had such a fluidity to the way he said it, and I just kind of shook my head and said, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I took a couple years of Spanish in high school and college, so not big on the French there. Well, here's the payoff pitch. That is way up high, and the walk is issued to Quentin Gustafson with 1 out here in the 6th.
Sodbusters trying to hang on here, and like I say, they need to beat anybody. It would be a nice performance here just to get back in the win column, kind of feel better about yourself with the big series, Fremont and then the Plainsmen for 4 games combined between those 2 teams beginning Friday.
Boldoin with the first delivery, and this is to the other North Platte guy, Easton Jones. Jones started off in the 4 spot tonight, and he grounded into a fielder's choice. He is 0 for 1. All-Stars 1 run on 3 hits. The Sodbusters 3 runs on 4 hits and 1 error on defense. Gustafson at first. That's served into center, very shallow, racing in Drew Vega, and he gets on his horse and makes the catch. Had to run a country mile to track that one down, but that is good enough for out number 2.
Mentioned those two guys going to Phoenix College. Talking to the North Platte coach, he said they use wood bats in that college league in the spring.
Yeah, not everybody. A lot of people still elect for the metal bats in the college spring, but apparently not everybody. Now at bat for the Cornhusker League All-Stars, this is Grant Zuha. He is one of the Columbus guys, headed to Southeast Community College just to attend regular school. The 9th spot in the order for the Cornhusker League All-Stars. That one right back to the screen. It's 1 ball and 1 strike. Boldoin looking for a scoreless inning. Sodbusters may have another arm coming in after this. And again, the Hastings has tomorrow off, so they can pitch. Well, since this is an exhibition game, too, they can pitch anybody for however long they want because there's no official pitch count limits. But you want to keep everybody as fresh as possible with 1 against Fremont and 3 against the Plainsmen in this weekend and into Monday. So Zuha at the plate. He started off in the 7th spot and walked in his only plate appearance, way out in front of that breaking ball. He was expecting the breaking ball right there, or expecting the fastball and got the breaking ball. Deuces wild for Boldoin. Downstairs, the count will run full, and that means Gustafson at first base will get a head start.
Nate Fisher warming for the Hastings Sodbusters. He would likely work the 7th.
That would be the final inning of the game unless we are destined for extras. There's a 3-2 and out of play. We'll do it again.
And if we do play extras, are we going to use the California tiebreak rule that they're using in American Legion Baseball?
Please no. I sure hope not if that is the case. We'll only tell you about those if it comes to it because those are they're if you know about California rules, it's similar to that, but there are some extra stipulations. That's served into center. This one will fall in front of Vega. Going first to third is Gustafson. The throw there is getting away. Boldoin backs it up, but not before Zuha takes second base. It's a single and an advancement on the play. And the Cornhusker League All-Stars will get the tying run into scoring position with 2 outs.
Unfortunate there for Vega, and game situation, that's one you probably want to just take to second to keep the tying run out of scoring position. And we will see a visit to the mound here for the first time today as Josh Printer is going to come out and talk with his left-hander.
See if this is just a strategy visit or to make a move. Again, Printer's really the only coach that goes out there. Coach Caranda and Chase don't really make mound visits, if at all. While we're at this pause here, it's now 4 hits each for both sides, but Hastings still with the 3-1 lead. Other action in the Independence League tonight, almost everybody else is active. Spearfish leading Oahe 3-0. The Nebraska Prospects in front of Fremont 3-0, and early on, Casper ahead of the Plainsmen 1-0 in the third. And
yesterday, Oahe beat Spearfish 9-4. Fremont outscored the Prospects 17-9.
The second half of Independence League baseball is just getting underway. The winner of the second half will face up against Spearfish in the ILB Championship Series at the end of the month. Jack Shagru is going to get an at-bat back now with 2 outs in the 6th inning, so it's back to the top of the order. But Shagru will be his second at-bat. He grounded out to shortstop on the only pitch he saw back in the 2nd. Jack Shagru headed to the Panhandle to play ball at Western Nebraska Community College. Off the glove of Boldoin, and that got him. He is hurt. 1 run comes in, and Shagru is at first. I don't know where that got him. I thought it went off the arm or somewhere, but Boldoin face down, and he's banging the mound. That's not good.
I think it was his left hand, but I don't know that. And, of course, he is a left-handed pitcher, and, oh, boy, that's that is not a good situation. As run scores on a rocket shot off the bat of Shagru.
Fortunately, I don't think it got him in the head or a neck or a shoulder. It did look like it got him in a hand or an arm. And it might have gotten him in his throwing arm, too. And
yeah, that's what I think. I think it got him on his throwing hand.
Well, Jack Shagru lines one up the middle, and it catches a piece of Jacob Boldoin, the pitcher. But he is up and moving around now. It's kind of a big shock factor, too. That one was hard off the bat. But we'll see if he can continue. We told you there was action in the Buster bullpen, and don't want to risk anybody else coming in or injuring themselves further. It looks like this might be it for Jacob Boldoin, and he will have to come out. Unfortunate exit to him as he gets rocketed by a comebacker to the mound. Get a nice ovation. We'll have a new Hastings Sodbusters pitcher on when we return. It is now 3-2. The lead grows shorter with 2 outs. Cornhusker League All-Stars threatening to tie this one up when we return on Sodbuster Baseball.
There's nothing like relaxing on a summer day. Nothing like taking in a Hastings Sodbuster baseball game. And there's nothing like an ice-cold Pepsi to make the day perfect. Pepsi Cola of Hastings wants to make your nothing like be the best day it can be, whatever the occasion. Enjoy your favorite refreshing Pepsi product throughout the Sodbuster season and make your nothing like memories. Pepsi Cola of Hastings, a proud sponsor of Hastings Sodbuster Baseball.
Blue Fork Kitchen features elevated comfort food in a family-friendly, fast casual environment. With a full menu, you can sit down for a nice meal or order online for pickup. From salads and wraps to burgers and steaks, Blue Fork Kitchen has your kind of food. Open Tuesday through Thursday, 11 to 9 p.m., and Friday and Saturday, 11 to 10 p.m., with a special brunch buffet Sunday from 9 to 2 p.m. Blue Fork Kitchen is located in the Cimarron Plaza, 38th and Osborne Drive in Hastings. Like them on Facebook.
In an unusual circumstance, unfortunately, a new arm on the mound for the Hastings Sodbusters. Jacob Boldoin, the Canadian, struck with a laser beam of a comebacker off the bat of Jack Shagru. It does get him credit for an RBI single, with an infield single for that, scoring the runner Quentin Gustafson. Grant Zuha emerged at third base. But now on the pitch for the Hastings Sodbusters, this is Nate Fisher. Nate Fisher will be on for his 12th time this summer. Fisher out of Bixby, Oklahoma at Northeastern Oklahoma A&M. And for him, been mainly out of the pen. He has made 1 start, but a 1-1 record. 12 hits, only 5 runs, 5 walks, 6 strikeouts. A 3.0 ERA. Last out June the 26th, where he was the pitcher that ended up giving up the walk-off to Casper in that June 26th loss. That was the run rule in 8 innings. At bat for the Cornhusker League All-Stars, Sawyer Kimberlin out of Columbus with first and third. Tying run 90 feet away for the Cornhusker All-Stars. Bender misses outside. 1 ball, 1 strike. You see the interesting arm delivery for Nate Fisher. Submarine guy goes way across his body. Kind of a deceptive arm angle. Swing and a miss, tied up Kimberlin inside, and he's down to his last strike. The Sodbusters can hold here. They'll look for some insurance in the 6th and hope to close it out in the 7th. The squat and the set from Nate Fisher. Runner goes from first, and no throw down there. Shagru steals second base uncontested, and now 2 in scoring position. But it's still a 2-2 count with 2 outs. Fisher trying to slam the door here and keep the lead. Out of play on the foul ball down the right field line. Sawyer Kimberlin trying to tie this one or perhaps give the high schoolers the lead. Way high, and the count is run full. First base is open, but you have a dangerous Broxton Barrientos lurking on deck. So that last hit, the All-Stars now have the hits advantage, 5-4 over Hastings. The payoff. Called strike 3. Kimberlin caught looking, and Nate Fisher gets the Sodbusters out of a big jam here in the 6th. The Cornhusker League Legion All-Stars do score one to get it a little bit closer, but Hastings still has the lead, looking for some insurance in the bottom of the sixth when we return from Duncan Field.
Hi, I'm a baseball umpire. My job can get pretty stressful. I have to keep my eyes open at all times, and if I don't make the right call, people boo me. So to relax, I visit a Nebraska lottery retailer like this one and buy some scratch tickets. It always calms me down. Hey, you cut in line.
I did not.
All right, you're out of here.
Hey, he didn't cut.
All right, you're out of here.
I feel better already. The Nebraska Lottery. Top prize odds vary by game.
At Hastings College, we celebrate all the ways you shine. From more than 20 athletic teams to band, choir, theater, and art, plus esports, creative writing, speech, and media. Join in to earn a scholarship and find your people, the friends you'll hang out and have fun with. It's what makes Hastings great. So check out Hastings College, where your experience matters, in the classroom and in the activities you love to do. Visit us at hastings.edu.
Pitcher Palooza continues at Duncan Field. Another new arm on for the Cornhusker League All-Stars. This is Sawyer Kimberlin out of Columbus, who just made the final strikeouts. He'll be on for the first time. And there are some defensive changes as well, the ones that we have caught. Chance Verton has moved to first base. Rhett Mundorf is out at second. Jack Shagru is back at his normal shortstop position. And out at third base, Grant Zuha. We will see about the outfielders. Looks like Isaiah Shaw is still in center field. And the corner outfielders, we'll get to you in just a moment.
Jones in left, Jonason in right, we believe, and Gannon is doing the catching for this team. Gage Gannon, the Grand Island guy. We're going to go with the projected defense given to us before the game by Josh Redmond.
Looks like he might have one wrong. That looks like Quentin Gustafson has slid out to right field. See a 14 on the back there, so can confirm that. And we'll go from there, folks. It's all about summer baseball, and
and all-star summer baseball's even better.
It is. So the Sodbusters lead it 3-2. Sawyer Kimberlin hums that thing in there for strike one. Zane Wilson up. He's 0 for 2 today. Strikeout and a fly out to right. Just 2 hits for Zane this summer. Breaking ball misses outside. 1 ball and 1 strike. Sodbusters looks like they'll go to a pinch hitter on deck as Joey Hecker has grabbed a bat. Actually, it'll be his spot in the order as Hecker came on as a defensive replacement a couple innings ago. 2-1 to Zane Wilson. Sodbusters team offensive numbers as a team have slipped as of recent. They were batting up in the 280 mark earlier in the season, but their team average has since slipped to 253 in their combined 29 games. Kimberlin's got Wilson 2-2, just gets a piece of it back to the screen. Sodbusters off tomorrow, then here back at home at Fremont on the 4th of July.
4:30 start time.
Second time in 2 years that the Moo and the Busters have matched up on Independence Day. Wilson punches that back to the screen to remain an even 2-2 counts. Sodbusters, although it won't go in the record books, they would break an unofficial 6-game losing streak as well. They have been winless in their past 6 contests dating back to last week. 2-2. That hit him on the back foot. And Wilson will take first base. A back foot breaking ball to the fullest extent right there, and that's a hit by pitch for Wilson.
Joey Hecker, good to see him play in the field today. The Washington State guy just kind of getting acclimated to this Hastings Sodbuster squad, and now looks like the Sodbuster's going to go with a pinch runner here, and it's free sub, so Jackson Crane comes back in and runs. So this is they're playing with the Legion rules, which you could actually run there, or high school rules, if you will, and so he's going to run.
It's supposed to be Jackson Crane up at the plate right now in the order, but and again, we told you Hecker took over for him in left field. Did make a pretty nice defensive catch a couple of innings ago. That line drive where he had to leap up and snag a baseball. But Joey Hecker just getting his first hit as a Sodbuster on Monday against Fremont, where he went 1 for 3 with a strikeout. He was also caught stealing in that game. But Joey Hecker out of Pullman, Washington, so he's going to stay home to play college baseball. That is the home town of the Washington State spring team. Fouled back to the screen, 2 balls and 1 strike. So it's Jackson Crane at first base. He's courtesy running for Zane Wilson. Cornhusker League All-Stars trying to put up a 0 here and give themselves a real opportunity in the top of the 7th. 2-1 from Kimberline. Runner on the move, but it's fouled off. And any way you look at it, this is just hopefully a good reset game for the Sodbusters, knowing that it doesn't matter in the record books, but the fact that they can kind of play worry-free baseball and just try and get those kinks out of their systems here tonight's kind of a good thing. Runner not going this time, and it's ball 3 upstairs. The count is now 3-2.
Although if there is some concern, I know even Scott Galusha brought it up, situational hitting. Runners at third, less than 2 outs. Sodbusters missed some chances again today, so you hope that just doesn't linger and carry on.
Fouled back to the screen. We'll do the full count pitch again. Did have some good situational hitting in the 2 innings that they did score in. At first inning, Jaden Shabry put home the run with a sac fly. Was a big missed opportunity in the third. He had second and third with only 1 out and couldn't score. Then the other 2 runs in the 4th. Runner on the move on the 3-2, but it doesn't matter because it's ball 4. Back-to-back have reached via free passes, a hit by pitch and a walk, and it's back to the top of the Sodbuster order.
Here's a chance here. Hastings will see how they play it. Signs already being flashed by the head coach, Josh Printer. Got a guy who can handle the bat pretty well. Do you take the bat out of his hands? You could be bunting here. Could fake the bunt and double steal. Sodbusters do that a lot, and it'll be an interesting situation. Gage Gannon going to have to be ready at his catcher's spot here for the Cornhusker League All-Stars.
Sawyer Kimberline on the mound. Loera does show bunt and pulls it back. Runners stay put. Christian Loera right up among the team leaders in hits. He's actually tied for second on the team with 24 hits. There was a stretch of about 6 or 7 games just a week or so ago where he was hitting 500 in everyday playing time. Pulls the bat back. Ground ball. It's grabbed by Chance Verton at first base. He will tag the base at his only play. What a backhanded stop by the Hastings High product to potentially save definitely would have saved a run there. And he turns it into the first out of the inning.
Lucky it wasn't a line drive. It would have been a double play. The good news is kind of like a sacrifice. Now you've got 2 runners in scoring position, and we'll see if Drew Vega can come through.
One of the better RBI guys and situational hitters, and Drew Vega trying to put a rough month of June behind him here as we get going with baseball in July. Infield in for the All-Stars. Vega takes high and in for ball 1. So now on bases, it's Crane at third and Hecker at second. Drew Vega now has hits in back-to-back games, including Monday where he went 2 for 5 with a pair of ribbies. And that'll get a run home. A line drive to center field. It is caught by Isaiah Shaw on the run, but tagging at third and coming home to score is Jackson Crane. 4-2 Hastings Sodbusters on the RBI sac fly from Mr. Drew Vega.
That's about as hard as Drew Vega hits it. That is really good job to get that ball out there. What a play from Shaw to keep a second run off the board and make the second out of the inning, and we'll see what the Sodbusters can get down here with Chase Miller batting.
Again, the defense for the All-Stars right now from left to right, it's Ian Aarons, Isaiah Shaw, and Quentin Gustafson. And from third to first, after the first pitch to Chase Miller. Low and in. Miller is his second at-bat tonight. He came in as a replacement for Jaden Shabry back in the 5th. He flew out to left on a pretty well-struck ball. But from third to first, Grant Zuhag, Jack Shagru, Rhett Mundorf, and Chance Verton. Gage Gannon behind the plates. The 1-0 pitch misses low, 2-0. Well, the Sodbusters doing a good job of the situational hitting in this inning. That's hit by Loera, or that ball put in play by Loera. Just a better play by the All-Stars defense there. Nothing wrong with that approach at the plate. But with 2 outs, you need a base hit to score the run. Behind on the fastball is Chase Miller, 2-1. Sodbusters is a team that hasn't lit it up in the extra base hit departments a ton this year, but they've got 3 going for extra base hits tonight of their 4 hits. Called a strike on the outside corner, and it's 2 balls and 2 strikes.
And when you only have 4 hits in a game, it's pretty rare that you're going to get back-to-back triples, but that's what happened for the Sodbusters back in the 4th.
2 triples, a double, and a single, the hits for Hastings tonight, but they have the 4-2 lead. 2-2 pitch outside for a 3-2 count. Sodbusters getting their lone run this inning with the benefit of no hits. A hit by pitch, a walk, and an RBI sac fly gets the 1 run home. But you'd love another one here. Every run you get a little bit more breathing room in the top of the 7th, which will be right after this. Sawyer Kimberling with the payoff pitch to Chase Miller. The runner's on the move. A swing and a miss, strike 3. Miller expands the zone and probably swung at ball 4. That'll end the inning. The Sodbusters and the All-Stars both get 1 run each in the 6th, and it's last call for the Cornhusker League All-Stars. Go to the top of the 7th. Sodbusters up by 2.
Make your next pit stop at the Coach's Corner. A friendly staff and a deep lineup of snacks. You can find Coach's Corner in North Hastings on Osborne Drive East. More than just a gas station, Coach's Corner is the place to get delicious pizza made fresh for you and your family. Don't take our word for it. It's so good it'll be featured at selected Sodbuster home games this season. For a convenient and clean experience, be sure to check out the new convenience store in North Hastings, Coach's Corner.
Core CPAs is your locally owned, full-service accounting firm. Our team of professionals have years of accounting experience and focus on building in-depth relationships with our clients. Our comprehensive and customized solutions are tailored to your specific needs. We pride ourselves in our commitment to integrity, objectivity, and professionalism. At Core CPAs, we provide tax services, payroll, bookkeeping, assurance and financial reporting, and much more. Visit our website at corecpas.us.
This should be it here for the Hastings Sodbusters as they will try to get the final 3 outs in this 7-inning exhibition game against the Cornhusker League All-Stars. It's Nate Fisher still on to pitch for the Hastings Sodbusters, and it looks like it's going to be Broxton Barrientos to lead things off, followed by Dean McIntyre and Chance Verton, the scheduled 3 batters from what it looks like here in the last inning for the Cornhusker League All-Stars. Been a pretty well defensive pitched game. 4-2, I think, before the game. I was talking with Mason here, and I predicted a 5-3 final, but I won't lie. I might have sided with the All-Stars to win this game, but it's in the favor of the Sodbusters right now. But they will need 2 runs to keep this game going here in the top of the 7th. Broxton Barrientos, the Grand Island guy, get his second at-bat today. He's walked in his only other plate appearance. Nate Fisher, the sidewinder, delivers inside. 1 ball and no strikes. Defense looks the same for Hastings. Still the same guys. Barrientos almost swings out of his shoes there and comes up empty on strike 1. Well, depending on where or who you're with in the summer season, depends on where you're headed next. For example, the Hastings 5 Points Bank team, they're off to a tournament in Colorado for the rest of the week. Grand Island Home Federal is off until Sunday. Also, Kearney Misco, they are off for a little bit as well. 1-2, just misses down low. Great take by Barrientos. Cornhusker League All-Stars looking for 2 runs to close this thing out. There is action in the Sodbuster bullpen if Fisher can't get the final 3 outs. Misses badly inside and actually almost hits Barrientos. And of course, stick around. We'll have our usual post-game coverage. We'll try and run through some numbers the best we can, especially for the All-Stars who have been batting almost wherever they please tonight. Payoff pitch outside for ball 4 and the leadoff walk for the Legion All-Stars.
That's another thing that won't make Scott Galusha happy.
Leadoff walks. Leadoff walks, if it makes anybody happy besides maybe the team that is on offense, it's not normal. First pitch is called a strike to Dean McIntyre. McIntyre out of North Platte. He'll be headed into his senior year, so one of the few guys that still has some baseball left to be played. The 1, the bouncer. Oh! Josh Redmond boots it in the third base coaching box. He went for it. He had it with his right hand, and now he'll sheepishly jog after it. Always makes the kids happy. It's something that they can talk their ear off about for the rest of the game. 0-2 just a bit outside. McIntyre watches it go by. Barrientos at first. So with the runner on, the tying run is at the plate for the All-Stars. It's the 1-2. That's inside. 2-2. Shadows have completely covered the infield now, and still a little bit of a problem for the outfielders, depending on where they are. 2-2 pitch. Back to the screen. Remains an even count. Besides Austin Raines working in multiple innings, and now Nate Fisher coming on to pitch his first full inning. Again, he came on after Jacob Boldoin was smoked by a comebacker last inning. McIntyre fights off another pitch, and he stays alive. Fisher trying to find the put-away pitch here. That is crushed to center field. Vega racing back. It's going to go into the gap for extra bases. Here comes Barrientos around third. He will score. And now caught off second is McIntyre, but he just dives back in safely. A slicing line drive for Dean McIntyre gets the Cornhusker Legion All-Stars 1 run closer, and now the tying run in scoring position.
And nearly a fatal mistake for McIntyre, who took off about 3 steps and thinking, can I make it? No. Dove back and nearly was taken out. And Josh Printer visiting the mound here is the tying run in scoring position with nobody out here in the deciding 7th frame.
Well, the Sodbusters are going with left-handed action in the bullpen. If, like we said, things get hairy here, and they are getting a little bit hairy now, as destiny about to repeat itself for the 2nd straight year. We'll have to find out here, and a little bit of cause for concern because you have Chance Verton coming up, and wondering, looks like they're going to stick with Fisher now, so they're going to go with the opposite hand matchup between Fisher and Verton rather than bring in the lefty from the pen. Major League, you would absolutely go with the lefty-on-lefty matchup, but a little bit of a different story in summer baseball. And actually, beg your pardon, Chance Verton is not up. He was just grabbing a bat earlier before the inning started. It's actually Rhett Mundorf at the plate. He's got the chance to tie this up right here. First pitch from Fisher. He shows bunt, and he lays it down perfectly. Hilton throws to first. Cossey does hold the base, and he is out. Hold your breath moment there, and a deep exhale for Sodbuster fans. Graham Hilton able to pounce on it and make a good throw over to first for the first out of the inning. So Mundorf sacrifices himself, and the tying run is now 1 base away with only 1 out in the 7th inning. So the sacrifice bunt goes 2-3 on the putout. And at bat, Gage Gannon from Grand Island watches strike 1 go by. Gage Gannon, he's got a triple in this game, and he waves and misses at that one. He was trying to tie that game up with that swing right there. Infield is in, the outfield a bit shallow as well. They're playing to try and throw the runner out at home on a potential sacrifice fly. Fisher looking for the punch out here to try and deny that. The 0-2 well outside, and even more pressure on Graham Hilton as well to not let one get back to the screen. High pressure situation. The Legion All-Stars are giving the Sodbusters a run for their money once again. The 1-2. Check swing, but did not go. What a take by Gage Gannon there to stay alive. So now the count evens up at 2-2. Can Fisher find the magic? That is way down the right field line, hooking foul, and it will get foul. That one was fair right off the bat, but then pretty quickly hooked towards foul territory.
Weird all-star situation. It looks like the next Sodbuster pitcher could be Ethan Marshall again.
What?
What? He was getting warm again. You have the free substitutions, but this feels like fast-pitch softball when you bring somebody back in. But he was the guy who was warming up for Hastings, the left-hander.
Fisher with the 2-2 to Gannon. Slow breaking ball that is launched down the left field line, and it is off the glove of Jackson Crane, and the game is tied on an RBI double from Gage Gannon with one out in the 7th inning. We are 4-4.
Just can't put these all-stars away. Either of the last 2 years, very well struck. I thought it was going to be an out there, but just couldn't quite make the play, and now a chance for the All-Stars to grab the lead with a runner in scoring position and still only one man out.
So we will play a bottom of the 7th inning as Nate Fisher cannot get the final 3 outs without allowing 2 runs. Well, they're going to intentionally walk Chance Verton, and I mean, from a business standpoint, I don't blame them, but then again, you have to go up against Cole Throckmorton now, who is a guy who has a lot of power in his bats. Also, courtesy running at second base is Spencer Shotkoski. Throckmorton fouls the first pitch back to the screen. So now we can look ahead to the Sodbusters' bottom of the 7th. Weston Johnston, Graham Hilton, Brock Cross, the middle of the order due up. Fisher still out there trying to get these final 2 outs. This is way high, 1 ball and 1 strike, and no more action in the bullpen. Perhaps Marshall's ready to come back in, or it's not uncommon you'll see a guy maybe throw a few more pitches after he comes in. Just in a kind of a
loosen up deal. Yeah, so
kind of.
Yeah, that could have been it. Yeah,
but I would love to see. We're batting wherever we want to tonight. Let's put a pitcher back in there.
I just don't know how. Yeah, that's baseball. It seldom happens.
1-2, breaking ball, but fouled off. Way in front of that is Throckmorton. Cole, one of the guys headed to Iowa Central Community College, the 378 hitter for Kearney Misco this summer. Throckmorton walked in his only plate appearance. The 1-2 is just missing. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Double play is in order with runners at first and second. 1-2 right over our heads and out of play. All-Stars now with 7 hits in the contest, 2 in this inning. Dean McIntyre had the RBI double to get it within 1. Then Gage Gannon, the game-tying RBI double, just 1 batter ago. The pitch to Throckmorton, again out of play, and goodness, these All-Stars are pesky. They will just not go away, making everybody drive up the pitch counts unofficially. Cole Throckmorton could give the All-Stars the lead here. Fisher's pitch. Soft ground ball hit to Loera at short. Throws to second, and he throws it away. It gets away from Miller, and the Cornhusker All-Stars will take the lead on a defensive blunder by the Hastings Sodbusters. So once again, for the second year in a row, the Allstars have come all the way back to take a lead here in the 7th.
Yeah, Shabry, I don't know if Loera really had a great look at it. He got kind of in front of the bag, but we've seen him make those kinds of plays all year long, but just misfired on the throw to second, and there's still only one man out as the Sodbusters now trail at 5-4.
So now the Sodbusters, they will need one run to keep the game going. Throckmorton runs at first. That'll eliminate the double play, and they've got the runner Verton hung up in between first and third. Verton, he's going to slide back in safely, and the Sodbusters will not get an out. A run-down miscue for the Sodbusters. They had Verton dead to rights in between third and home, and they can't get him out.
Yep.
Unbelievable.
Cross did not clear the path after throwing home. The throw came back. He grabbed it, but could not make the tag, and so everybody is going to be safe.
That is a fielder's choice. So no error on the play, but the Sodbusters will be hurting for that one right here, and they're hurting to get these final 2 outs as they've given up a 2-run lead in the top of the 7th. They trail by 1, and a new pitcher coming on the mound when we return from Duncan Field.
At Hastings College, we celebrate all the ways you shine. From more than 20 athletic teams to band, choir, theater, and art, plus esports, creative writing, speech, and media. Join in to earn a scholarship and find your people, the friends you'll hang out and have fun with. It's what makes Hastings great. So check out Hastings College, where your experience matters, in the classroom and in the activities you love to do. Visit us at hastings.edu.
There's nothing like relaxing on a summer day. Nothing like taking in a Hastings Sodbuster baseball game. And there's nothing like an ice-cold Pepsi to make the day perfect. Pepsi Cola of Hastings wants to make your nothing like be the best day it can be, whatever the occasion. Enjoy your favorite refreshing Pepsi product throughout the Sodbuster season and make your nothing like memories. Pepsi Cola of Hastings, a proud sponsor of Hastings Sodbuster Baseball. Let's face it, we move our bodies around a lot. And sometimes things happen, a tweak, twist, pull, strain, ache, or pain. At Fisk Chiropractic and Sports Care, their goal is to restore your mobility, keep you moving, and ensure your rehabilitation is effective, efficient, and stress-free. Do you suffer from headaches and neck pain, lower back or sciatica? Call Fisk Chiropractic and Sports Care today. Start to discover wellness through chiropractic care. Fisk Chiropractic Sports Clinic.com. Start feeling better now.
Well, don't look now. Yes, this is not a replay of earlier. This is Ethan Marshall again for the Hastings Sodbusters. He, yes, already pitched in the game back in the 2nd inning, but again, with this being an exhibition game, most of the rules are out the door tonight. So Ethan Marshall, he is back on to pitch for the 2nd time tonight after Nate Fisher has given up 3 runs in this inning to give the Cornhusker Legion All-Stars the lead here in the 7th, and they are not done yet. They have bases loaded with 1 out, and at the dish for them, it's Ian Aarons. Grand Island guy trying to bust this thing open here. He fouls that off of Graham Hilton behind the plates.
Ethan Marshall, officially the 2nd and 7th pitcher for the Hastings Sodbuster today.
How often do you say that? Never, because that's not legal in regular baseball. Ethan Aarons came on as a sub later in the game. That almost hits him. Steve, you're ready to mark that down as a hit by pitch there.
Yes.
I was ready too. Ian Aarons, he saw a couple of at-bats in the 4 spot where he walked and struck out. Bases loaded, Marshall the pitch, out of play, 1-2. So Chance Verton at third base. Again, he just gotten a rundown on the last ground ball, which the Sodbusters botched the rundown and could not get an out. Cole Throckmorton's at second base. Marshall ahead 1-2 on Aarons. Soft ground ball hits, and the Tag is made at second, and they throw out the runner at first. A 4-3 double play. What an athletic play by Chase Miller at second base. Tags the runner going by and throws on to first. Just what the doctor ordered. The Sodbusters escape further damage, but they give up the lead, and they will need one run in the bottom of the 7th to keep it going when we return from Duncan.
Make your next pit stop at the Coach's Corner. A friendly staff and a deep lineup of snacks. You can find Coach's Corner in North Hastings on Osborne Drive East. More than just a gas station, Coach's Corner is the place to get delicious pizza made fresh for you and your family. Don't take our word for it. It's so good it'll be featured at selected Sodbuster home games this season. For a convenient and clean experience, be sure to check out the new convenience store in North Hastings, Coach's Corner.
Blue Fork Kitchen features elevated comfort food in a family-friendly, fast casual environment. With a full menu, you can sit down for a nice meal or order online for pickup. From salads and wraps to burgers and steaks, Blue Fork Kitchen has your kind of food. Open Tuesday through Thursday, 11 to 9 p.m., and Friday and Saturday, 11 to 10 p.m., with a special brunch buffet Sunday from 9 to 2 p.m. Blue Fork Kitchen is located in the Cimarron Plaza, 38th and Osborne Drive in Hastings. Like them on Facebook.
Sodbuster baseball now could potentially be in its final inning, and Cornhusker League All-Stars are going to turn to the Kearney High School product, Griffin Novacek. Does just about everything on the baseball field, and he's yet again another new pitcher, the 7th pitcher for the Cornhusker Legion All-Stars tonight. The Kearney product, he normally plays first base or the outfield, and he'll also come in to close some games too, and he will look to get the final 3 outs here against the Hastings Sodbusters tonight.
1-2. He does have a save this year, 2.21 his ERA, making his 6th appearance. Of course, it's not an official appearance for him, but 6 in the 3rd innings, allowing 3 runs, 2 of them earned, allowing only 2 hits, striking out 11, walking 4, hitting 5. So he's struggled in that respect, but 3 outs away from giving the Cornhusker League All-Stars a 2-0 record the last 2 years. Since they've started this iteration of the All-Star game. It used to be you had your eastern part, a lot of Lincoln schools. You had Fremont in this league, but they said, heck with it, we don't want to go west anymore. So you're left with Columbus, North Platte, Kearney, Hastings, and Grand Island, and looking to still have an All-Star game, so a neat opportunity, and they've been 2 very competitive games the last 2 years.
So also some more defensive changes. Chance Verton still at first base. Quentin Gustafson is back at second. Jack Shagru is at shortstop. Easton Jones is now at third base as well. And the outfielders have switched around a bit too, but they are facing towards us right now and no jersey numbers on the front there. So there are some different guys out there. Sodbusters will hopefully try and just piece together whatever they can to come back in this final inning, avoid being defeated in comeback fashion for the 2nd straight year. Weston Johnston, Graham Hilton, Brock Cross, the scheduled 3 hitters. Griffin Novacek, Steve told you about his numbers. He's got a pretty hard fastball. He'll likely use that to his advantage in this bottom of the 7th inning. Final call for the Hastings Sodbusters unless they can get at least 1 run on the board or 2 to win it. Novacek slings it in there outside. 1 ball and no strikes. Novacek, one of the other Iowa Western guys, had to do play ball there. Weston Johnston almost swings out of his shoes trying to get that ball in play. Johnston today 0 for 3, a strikeout, ground out, and flyout. Unlike the All-Stars, they have pretty much kept their same batting order. And there's the beautiful breaking ball right there. Novacek snaps it off right over the heart of the plate.
Shaw, Zuha, Barrientos, the outfield left to right for the All-Stars.
Here's a 1-2 pitch, swing and a miss. The fastball blown right by him. 1 up and 1 down for Griffin Novacek.
Such a different look than what you saw last inning with Kimberling, and really have to catch up with that fastball, and we'll see what the Sodbusters can get done here with one out and nobody on.
And Graham Hilton digs in. Hilton today with that triple in the fourth, and that came after he got smoked in the head with that backswing. And a chance for a little bit of revenge here for Hilton, because the man on the mound was the one responsible for hitting him in the head, unintentionally, of course, but still all the same. 1-0 pitch, down low and in, 2 balls and no strikes. But the fact that Graham Hilton has been able to power through this whole game just shows you the tenacity and grit of baseball catchers nowadays. 2 more outs to work with here for the Sodbusters. A high strike called, 2-1.
Graham nearing the end of his playing days, as he'll be playing through this weekend and then be saying goodbye. Gavin Warren ending his time. He's been the bullpen catcher here today. Has been battling health issues. He's playing his final competition for the Sodbusters.
2-1 pitch. Misses inside, but not by much. 3 balls and 1 strike. And the high school parents, they wanted that call to strike. There's quite a few of them here. I mean, every good play that they have made, you can hear the roar from their fans. Hit to the opposite side to third. This Easton Jones from North Platte throws across to make the play. And the Hastings Sodbusters are down to their final out here, trailing by 1 run.
See what Cross can get done. He's had a really good day. 2 for 2, 2 extra base hits, has been hit by a pitch, and a chance to keep this game going for the Hastings Sodbusters.
So he represents the tying run, and Cross, he has had a couple of wall balls today, and a double and an RBI triple. He's also been hit by a pitch, so still a perfect 2 for 2 day. Novacek has the speed on the mound. Cross has the power at the plate. He overthrows that fastball. Brock Cross, another guy whose days are numbered here. He'll make it most through the half of the month of July, but 11 days and he'll be headed back home to Arizona. Novacek the 1-0 to Brock Cross. Outside. Sun is completely set here at Duncan Field now. It's just us and the lights and what little daylight remains behind the right field stands. 5-4, the Cornhusker Legion All-Stars getting 3 runs in the top of the 7th to blow a Sodbuster save and take the lead. Nothing wrong with that pitch, 2-1. Base is empty with 2 outs. It's been strikeout, ground out so far. The Sodbusters knocking on death's door here. 2-1 from Novacek. The long wind misses way outside. If Cross can reach, Luke Cossey is on deck. The wind and the delivery of the hitter's count pitch. And he will reach on ball 4. Novacek can't find the zone in that at-bat. And Luke Cossey comes up to the plates, the tying run on base.
Cossey just where you want to be in your lineup. Now, Luke, he did have a sacrifice fly back in the 4th, but 0 for 2 trying to find a way to get on board and keep this game going.
Cossey's average has slipped as of recent. He was hitting .391 in the middle of the June. His average has dipped all the way down to .289 since then, over 100 points. So he's trying to find the magic here with a chance to keep this game going. Jaden Shabry is going to courtesy run for Brock Cross at first base.
Just weird to say that in summer college ball, but this isn't summer college ball. It's an exhibition.
Cossey had a 3-hit game against Casper on the road series, but since then not much doing for him. He was 0 for 4 in Monday's game against Fremont. Strike at the knees, 0-1. Cossey tonight in the 7-hole, 0 for 2. A fly out, a ground out, and then a sacrifice fly, which drove in a run. Novacek trying to slam the door for the All-Stars. Ground ball up the middle. It's past the dive of Quentin Gustafson, and the inning will continue on a C&I single from Luke Cossey.
Walk single, and now the winning run is on for the Hastings Sodbusters.
Now it's going to be up to Zane Wilson, who has struggled at the plate today and all throughout this season. Can he find the perfect time for a much-needed base hit? Wilson 0 for 2 today, a flyout, a strikeout. He was hit by a pitch and scored the Sodbusters run back in the 6th inning. 2 on with 2 outs. Novacek misses badly with ball 1. Last hit for Wilson coming back on June 21st against the Plainsmen. Since then, he's only been 0 for 3 in official contests. He has taken a few walks in those at-bats as well. Shabry represents the tying run. Wilson watches strike 1 go by. Novacek got the first 2 in the inning out pretty quickly. But now some traffic and time to maybe bite on some fingernails here for both sides. Taking a look at seconds, and now the 1-1. Great take on the breaking ball by Novacek. Wilson takes it on the toss. Now he's ahead in the count 2-1. Lefty trying to give the Sodbusters a tie game. Up and away, 3-1. A walk would load the bases with 2 outs. And here comes the hitter's count pitch from Novacek. Called a strike, shaved off the inside corner. So now with a 3-2 count with 2 outs, the runners will be on the move, and a base hit would almost assuredly tie this game. Zane Wilson trying to make a Sodbuster memory this summer. Novacek trying to spoil the game. The payoff pitch. Swing and a miss, strike 3. The Cornhusker League Legion All-Stars beat the Hastings Sodbusters for the 2nd year in a row, and they do it for the 2nd year in a row in comeback fashion. Your final score 5-4. Sodbusters strand the tying run in scoring position after giving up 3 runs in the 7th, where they led it by a score of 4-2. They fall tonight 5-4, but just an unofficial game. A little bit of a morality, a little bit of hurts on that. The Sodbusters will lick their wounds and try and recover for Friday's game against Fremont. We'll be right back, and we'll give our post-game thoughts. We'll give you as much official numbers as we can, with the Sodbusters falling in this contest tonight. Ryan Valenta, Steve Stein, back in a moment.
Let's face it, we move our bodies around a lot. And sometimes things happen. A tweak, twist, pull, strain, ache, or pain. At Fisk Chiropractic and Sports Care, their goal is to restore your mobility, keep you moving, and ensure your rehabilitation is effective, efficient, and stress-free. Do you suffer from headaches and neck pain, lower back, or sciatica? Call Fisk Chiropractic and Sports Care today. Start to discover wellness through chiropractic care. Fisk Chiropractic Sports Clinic.com. Start feeling better now.
At Hastings College, we celebrate all the ways you shine. From more than 20 athletic teams to band, choir, theater, and art, plus esports, creative writing, speech, and media. Join in to earn a scholarship and find your people, the friends you'll hang out and have fun with. It's what makes Hastings great. So check out Hastings College, where your experience matters, in the classroom and in the activities you love to do. Visit us at hastings.edu.
Core CPAs is your locally owned, full-service accounting firm. Our team of professionals have years of accounting experience and focus on building in-depth relationships with our clients. Our comprehensive and customized solutions are tailored to your specific needs. We pride ourselves in our commitment to integrity, objectivity, and professionalism. At Core CPAs, we provide tax services, payroll, bookkeeping, assurance and financial reporting, and much more. Visit our website at coursecpas.us.
Well, disappointing end to the Sodbusters exhibition game for the second consecutive year in a row as they fall by a score of 5-4 against the Cornhusker lead Allstars tonight. But they will try and rebound and get the win on Friday against Fremont in a game that matters, and a whole lot of game of chaos where the Legion All-Stars just tried to get as many guys opportunity as they can, and good for them as well, because 20 guys making the trip from most of them out of the city. Had your 4 Hastings kids and the Tri-City guys, but want to get the 4 players from North Platte and the 4 players from Columbus an equal opportunity playing time too. So it's just cool to see that everybody from all walks of Legion baseball get an opportunity tonight. And how about the Legion All-Stars showing that the Central Nebraska and even a little bit to Eastern Nebraska, the Legion guys are not to be messed around with. Everybody came in tonight with a winning record for the high school seniors, or the All-Stars, and showed you why they're playing on the team. So excellent win for them tonight in comeback fashion, and showed that they can swing it with the big guys. So Steve Stein, Ryan Valenta on our post-game show. The Sodbusters win it, or they lose it 5-4. Cornhusker Legion wins it for the second straight year, but overall, very well played game.
Yep, and 14 different pitchers saw time today. You had the 19 players who were in uniform for the Legion All-Stars. Of course, you're missing one guy, Gabe Ruiz, who was struck by a batted ball yesterday. He didn't play out of Grand Island, but all the other 19 getting in there. And many of these guys, a part of that win for the Sodbusters, they threw 7 guys. Actually threw 6. One guy threw twice. That's the kind of weird day it was, as Ethan Marshall was the 2nd and 7th pitcher for the Hastings Sodbusters today. Creighton Jacobitz, one solid inning to begin. You had Marshall. You had Austin Rains. Sodbusters had a good performance from Elijah Thomas. Bulldoyne, tough day for him as he gets struck by a batted ball. We'll get the situation on him. Nate Fisher ends up taking the loss, and then Marshall came in to finish up. For the Cornhusker All-Stars, they actually ended up getting a guy who gave up a run to pick up the win, as Sawyer Kimberling came in, gave up a run on no hits in that 6th inning, but he was technically still a part of the ball game when they rallied for 3 runs in the top of the 7th, and then Griffin Novacek comes in and gets the final 3 outs to pick up the save for the Cornhusker All-Stars. And so that's the kind of highlights as far as the Sodbusters. A 2-for-2 day for Brock Cross. He gets a double, a triple. He scores a run and knocks in one. 1-for-2 for Drew Vega with an RBI. 1-for-3, a triple and a run scored for Graham Hilton. 1-for-3 for Luke Causey. He had an RBI and a run scored for Zane Wilson as the Sodbusters come up short today by a count of 5-4.
Let's get the perspective now of head coach Josh Printer. And, man, Josh, first off, you were on the other side of it last year playing in the game, and this time you get to coach in this game. It's fun to go up against a different opponent. Just came up a little bit short. Just tell us about what you saw on the field tonight.
Really, I mean, I think we gave ourselves a good chance to win it there at the end. Just didn't capitalize on a double play ball, and had a run down there that was a big out to keep us within a game. And just hats off to them. They came out and beat us. We were ready for them. We were, and they just came out and beat us today.
And you're able to throw a lot of different guys. That was kind of part of the game plan. A lot of guys threw pretty well. I guess the first question, Jacob Bulldoyne, what's his situation after he took a solidly struck ball?
I think I don't want to speak on something I don't necessarily know for sure, but Scott was down there, had ice on him, and he said the swelling was starting to go down a little bit after the ice, and he's a tough kid, really tough kid. So hopefully he'll be all right. It is on his pitching hand, so it was on his pitching hand, not his glove hand. But hopefully I'll probably shoot him a text tonight and kind of check up on him and see how he's feeling. But luckily it didn't look like nothing was broke. So hopefully he'll be all right. He'll be a big asset for us down the stretch.
And another big, almost catastrophic injury too. Graham Hilton getting hit on a freak backswing too. I mean, I've never seen a guy just start to bleed from the head and just like, oh, whatever, guys. I mean, he's obviously a very tough catcher as well, but injuries piled up. Talk about he was obviously okay, but so that injury maybe not as bad as we thought. Is it just the cut on his head?
Yeah, just a cut on his head. I mean, I was ready for Jude. I was making sure Jude was ready to go in there, but Graham did not want me to take him out, and all respect to him, and I gave him props over there in the huddle over there because, I mean, he got smoked. He did, and props to Graham for being tough and staying in there.
He comes back later, gets a triple. You had a Brock Cross 2 for 2 with a double and triple, so you had some positives on a tough day.
Yeah, we swung it well. I mean, that ball Vega hit to center with a couple guys on. If that burns, and we score an extra run there, and he's ended up standing on second base, and we get an out back. But it is what it is. I mean, it's baseball. I mean, I will give our guys credit. We did show up ready to play today, and I'm happy about that.
All right. Anything good or bad that you specifically took away from facing this different kind of opponents? With you guys got to get back on the horse in Independence League play for 4 home games this weekend.
Yeah, I'm ready to play 9 innings and being able to throw more than one starter, or at least whenever pitchers feeling good up there to be able to leave them in for more than 1 or 2 innings and just flush it. I mean, I didn't go crazy on them over there. Game at the end of the day, and I told him, make sure you don't get used to me saying this, but today didn't matter. It really didn't. So just make sure we come back ready for Fremont, and we better have an edge coming for Fremont for on Friday. So.
And as a coach, college coach, you had a chance to see those Legion All-Stars across the way. Some potential maybe future Sodbusters, and now you're a college coach. It's kind of fun to see that kind of competition and see some guys that maybe you'll get a chance to coach someday.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. They did not show up looking like high school kids whatsoever. They props to them, well coached, and just came out and beat us. And they, like you said, they had quite a few arms, and, I mean, they just had talent all across the board, and just came out and beat us today.
All right, Coach, go rest up, and we'll see you on Friday. Thank you so much. Josh Printer, head coach for the Hastings Sodbusters, as they fall in this one by to score 5-4 tonight. And disappointing, they lost 7-6 last year and almost had the win, but they lost in comeback fashion. And again, exhibition game, so it doesn't matter. It does not go on the official record, and the Sodbusters can pitch whoever they want again on Friday. But again, we told you about the offensive bright highlights. Graham Hilton, an extra base hit with a triple. Brock Cross, a 2-for-2 day with an RBI triple and a double as well. Lucasi drove in a run. Jaden Shabry also had a run driven in. Drew Vega with a run, a hit and a run driven in. So the Sodbuster offense was there. They've shown a little bit more sparks of life than they have in the past few contests, so that's a bright spot to look on tonight. But for the Cornhusker All-Stars, I mean, the guys that might be playing in their last game as high schoolers or last season as high schoolers, or even maybe they don't have baseball in their future or they still have another spring to play. They came out and took it to the Sodbusters late in the game tonight. Good win for them, but like I said, just got to flush it and prepare for Fremont on Friday.
As far as the Cornhusker League All-Stars and some of their highlights, back in the 3rd inning, they got their offense going with Griffin Novacek as he had a triple. He was brought home by Chance Verton, who had an RBI single, and that was their first run of the day. They ended up scoring a run in the 6th as they earned a walk from Quentin Gustafson. He would later score on an infield single from Jackson Chagru. And then in the 7th inning, the decisive frame, they get a walk, able to come through and just kind of keep it on rolling. Big RBI double in the inning from Gage Gannon as he brought home a run, and they would end up plating 3 runs before it was all said and done. Had an RBI double in that inning as well from Dean McIntyre. So those are some of the big hits. And then the Sodbusters did have some defensive miscues, but those 2 big doubles from McIntyre and Gannon, kind of the big hits in their rally from behind to get the win.
The final score tonight, 5-4, as the All-Stars had 7 hits. The Sodbusters had 5 hits. But they will try and look and rebound on Friday against Fremont, which will be our next broadcast. That'll be a 6:35 start time and back to
4:30.
4:30.
Yeah.
You've said it like 4 times on the broadcast, and I still found a way.
Sorry to correct you, but by golly, we don't want people coming at 6:30. Otherwise, the game will be over. All right.
Probably over now.
Yeah, okay.
4:30, the 4th of July start time for the Fremont Moo. And that'll be the Independence Day game. Sodbusters will match up with Fremont for the second time in 3 years. And then Saturday through Monday, a 3-game series against the Plainsmen as they wrap up their season against the Hastings Sodbusters. On behalf of Sodbuster Baseball, Steve Stein, myself, Ryan Valenta, thank you to Connor Mason and Noah for helping us run the show behind the scenes. We'll see you next Friday for the Hastings Sodbuster Baseball against Fremont. And we'll hope you have a happy rest of your Wednesday evening from Duncan Field.
Catch the spirit of the game. The Hastings Sodbusters.
Get the ultimate fan experience at a Hastings Sodbuster game this summer. Enjoy high-level collegiate summer wood bat baseball at the beautiful and historic Duncan Field in Hastings. Baseball and a whole lot more. Affordable family fun. That's what the Sodbusters and the Independence League are all about. Sodbuster Baseball. It's your team.